The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers Podcast Special Edition Spoilercast for Detroit Become Human. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as JesusWalksAlot. Today I'm joined by special guest, all special guest. The most special-est of them all is Iams. Sean Iams Fuller is here. Welcome, Iams.
I'm not sure what you mean by special, man, but I thank you either way. You're a good dude. I like you.
Thank you for coming on, Iams. And we, of course, have Iams' girlfriend, Alyssa White. She's here. What's your gamer tag, Alyssa? What's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag? On PlayStation, it's Lyssarie. Lyssarie. Did I spell that right? I'm just like, woo, right now.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Okay.
You know how to spell my name.
Yeah, you know her gamer tags. Just go on Iams' freaking face, like on his, go to his Xbox profile and his PlayStation profile. You'll find her on there, I'm pretty sure. You
can find her on YouTube. You can find her on Pornhub. She's everywhere.
Whoa.
And the last one.
And my friend, Brunswick, BJSwick33, back again for another show. He was on like not even that long ago. So thanks for coming back, Brun.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. I was going to say, like, TXL was probably one of like, hey, when are you going to come do a special show with us?
That's right. You're a PlayStation guy now. That's what I'm hearing. You're a PlayStation guy.
Yes, I'm announcing this PlayStation life.
Whoa. That's awesome. Yeah. Brun back on the podcasting scene. Man, but let's talk about Detroit because we've all played it, we've all beat it, and this pretty much is going to be a spoiler cast for that game. Like, we're just going to go through it and talk about the different choices and decisions and things that happen to us, because when you're playing that game, there's always this, at the end of each chapter, there's like a little tree thing that pops up, right? Like, it has all the choices you could have made.
Yeah.
And, what's cool about those is that sometimes you'll notice that you go through a chapter and you made all the choices. It'll say like you do, like it'll all highlight it. You made all these decisions. You covered it all. But sometimes it's just like one line. It's highlighted. It's like you just went through this line. You could have gone this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And it's like, So I wonder, guys, what choices did you make? And what choices did I make? And what choices did Alyssa make? What choices did Iams make? Because it's going to be crazy, I think.
Yeah, the cool thing is, too, if you do something in one chapter, it'll unlock an option in another chapter. You'll see, like, a little special highlighted option you can do, and, like, the little unlock key, you know, like a little unlock. And you're like, oh, cool. You always go for that one because you're like, I did that. I made that. Whatever that is, I made it happen, so I'm going to push that one. I mean, that's what I always did. I always looked at that as, like, the special option. I did it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So,
and as far as the flow chart, I think I only 100%ed one on the first time through. I don't remember what chapter it was, but it's like you couldn't make really any other decision than that flow. And then I got the 100%, like, okay, I did one. And actually, did you guys try to go redo a chapter before you finished the game and got the warning?
No.
Okay, so it was pretty cool because there was a warning, like the female that's in the menus that helped talk to you and stuff.
So cute, man.
Yeah, she was like, oh, my creators have told me that they feel that you should complete the story all the way through before going back and trying again, because if you go through again and make different decisions, it impacts you later down. It didn't impact your game all the way through. And so for anybody who's playing it or haven't finished it, you should do that. Play all the way through to the end, and what you get's what you get. And I think we're going to talk about our endings here soon. But it was pretty cool that they kind of just, that's how they warned you, was that part. So
yeah, she'll spring like just a random like do you mind taking this survey?
This survey?
Yeah, dude.
Right. Yeah.
She did that to me when I it was probably because my game froze during the time playing it. I was playing it for so long. I think my PS4 just fucking went nuts. I was like, and it froze. I was like, oh no! So I reloaded back in. Of course, it saved the previous checkpoint. So I just kind of had to restart that chapter. And so I went through there. But before I started the chapter, it loaded up, and she was like, "Hi, welcome back. Would you like to take a survey?" And I was like, yeah, sure. And then the survey was pretty trippy, man. Like it made you question yourself, your morals, and the way you kind of think yourself, right? Because it asked you right off the bat, like, would you have a romantic relationship with an android if it looked like a human?
Yep.
I was like, fuck yes.
I said no.
My wife was sitting next to me when it was up, so I had to say no.
Yes.
Just kidding. No, I said no.
She just stared at you like,
Yeah, what do you want to do? Would you leave your wife for an android? Like, sitting there sweating, and she's like looking at me. No. Would you answer for that one? That wasn't a real question.
But there was a bunch of other questions. There was one where like it asked like the weirdest one that I thought it asked was, do you believe in God? And that was like question 9 out of 10 almost, I think. And that was a question that I was like, whoa.
That's weird for a game to ask that, right?
Yeah, it was like, it was super weird for a game to ask that. But I was thinking about David Cage and his games. And I recently played Beyond Two Souls, and that game kind of made you question the same thing, right? It made you question, is there a God, or can we control what's death and what's life? Can we control that? You know, that's what the whole game was about. That, like, can you control death? And that's what they were trying to do the whole game. That's the point of the rifts in that game. And I was like, this guy seems to have something that, I don't know, like maybe he doesn't believe in God himself. Maybe he's trying to bring that into video games somehow. Maybe it's just the way he wants to bring some kind of controversy to his games. I thought that was interesting, though, because when I selected my answer on that, it said that like 97% of people said no.
Yeah, that was pretty high.
I was like, holy shit. That is crazy, man. So, that was pretty interesting. But
Oh, go ahead.
Do you want to do a quick review before we get into the straight spoilers, that in case anyone's listening hasn't played it and they maybe thought this was a review type thing? You want to just like drop a quick what you thought of the game without spoiling it first?
Sure. I mean, what I thought of the game, I thought it was a good rental because I rented it. That's straight up from the get-go. I'm going to tell you guys, I rented this game for $7. It was 3 days for $7, and I played it pretty much in a day and a half, or 2 days I played it. So it's pretty fast to beat if you have enough time to sit down and play it. But it does take a while. It wasn't as short as Beyond Two Souls, and it wasn't short at all, really. It was
about 10 hours.
It was a little bit longer, I think, man.
I think mine was between 13 and 16.
Yeah, mine too.
Wow. Mine was
Depends
not
how
long.
much exploring you do.
It depends. It depends on what you're doing, what you're looking around at. You know, I spend a lot of the time in the game just looking at the environments, looking at the world.
Beautiful.
Yeah, everything's just awesome. Beautiful. So yeah, take it that, you know, like maybe what I would say is if you're not into these types of games, I would say rent it. But if you really like Heavy Rain, and you like Beyond Two Souls, and you like Until Dawn, you like these types of games, even the Telltale games where you make decisions and you have to make these quick decisions sometimes, I recommend it, man, because it is a beautiful game. It runs good, it looks good, and impact on you, I think. It does make you question how humans would react if there was androids around. You know, like if there was real androids like that around. Like, it makes you think about that. It made me think about
protesters, there's people against the movement, against them. There's people for them. People use them for help. People use them as slaves. People do sex things to them. People who just want to cut them up and make like Toy Story toys out of them. You know, it's
crazy.
It's very weird, man. But the game looks great. I don't consider this a game, really. I consider this a television season that you get to slightly control the outcome. And there's a lot of, I've talked and heard a couple of things, and there are some drastic differences in the story and how it plays out. But overall, I really liked it. For a rental, I think it's perfect. I did buy it, and I didn't regret paying $60 for it, because I feel like I'm gonna when Alyssa comes and visits me here next month, I think we're gonna play it again and just make all the worst decisions. Like, okay, this is
Well,
what
now
I
I'm
should do.
rethinking my decision since you said you date a robot, so I'm rethinking my decision now, by the way.
Those plans have changed.
I can program her what to do, what to say. I don't have to clean ever again. And she got some good eyes, probably. Of course, it's gonna be a she. She can dust for me. I can't dust, man.
You're just making it worse. You're making it worse.
We'll see how you.
Brun, do you recommend the game? Did you buy it or did you rent it?
I buy it. Oh, you said Brun. Well, I bought it.
Yeah. So for me, it was like 3 years ago when I saw it at E3. I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
My first thing I said when I first saw that game, I said I'm buying a PlayStation for that game. So I happened to stumble across a PlayStation. I didn't have to buy one. I stumbled across one, and yes, I bought it. So I actually pre-ordered it as soon as it was available to pre-order. Because you're right. It's not a game. It's an interactive decision experience, if you want to say. And for somebody who all of us go through gaming fatigue, right? So it's just like, oh, I want to play a game, but it's just I don't know what to play, and I don't want to be stressed out playing online multiplayer games or anything like that. This was a perfect just sit back on the couch and just move around, click a couple buttons. You weren't stressed out because I'm playing The Last of Us now, and it's like I'm always in a dark room with just a flashlight. And it's just like, I can't stand to be in this for, 3-4 hours sitting, just being stressed out all the time and hear clicking behind me. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah. So, this game was a great sit back and play. Definitely after finishing God of War, this was my next game. But you're talking about how this game makes you think and treat. And I really do think it makes you, a lot of this gameplay shows like who I am. As a person, because I think if you take this game and even that survey we were talking about a little bit earlier, you can replace the word android with anything or anybody different than you.
Your pet, you can replace that with your pet.
And you can put that in that position and answer those questions, and I think it really shows a good idea of maybe how you are and makes you think about yourself. Like why did I answer that? Like why did I say, yes, I believe in God, or no, I wouldn't marry an android, or, yes, I think they should be free, or all those type of questions. Like if you go and replace that with anybody like other than myself, because I'm a male, so put females in there. Like, would I marry a female? Yes. Do I think they should be free, or, have this or that? I think it sums up and makes you really think about, like, you can do anything today in there too, like in the real world today, put it in that spot and play this game and act this way. And you can really see like the impact it makes you think. So maybe put you in their shoes too, like, like the Android shoes, which I kind of like that too. So I definitely recommend it. I like I said, I really, really did like it, and I'm glad I bought it.
The acting and voice acting in this was so good.
Connor is so good, dude. Connor is like... I love that dude.
I mean, you could have somebody who doesn't even like video games. Somebody who hates video games can sit next to you during this whole game and
just
enjoy
watch it.
Yeah.
Just watch. It's like watching a movie. Pretty much, you're making the choices. Yep. It's pretty incredible. And you're right, Brun. It does give you that like break from gaming that sometimes you need. Because I was finding myself, I couldn't go back to God of War. I was, and I was like, I know I need to finish that game because everybody's telling me it's amazing and I'm having fun with it. But at the same time, it's like, it feels like a chore almost. And playing this right now, like before the show, I was playing God of War for like the last 2-3 hours, man. Now I was having a blast, and it kind of has a good, like a palate cleanser, it just kind of resets your gaming. It's like you're watching a movie. It's not like you're really gaming. There's tough choices to make, and that comes up a lot. But the story immerses you, and you're like in a movie. You're pretty much.
One more chapter. I did that a bunch. One more chapter. I was like, let me just turn this off and watch the TV show. Wait, one more chapter. Wait.
Dude, I played that game pretty much in 2 sittings. I played it the first night for like about 4 hours, and the next day I pretty much played it from like 1 in the afternoon till like 10:30 at night. I played it for like 10.5 hours straight. Just sat there and played it, dude. So I mean, I was immersed in the story.
Mine was less than 5 days. I think 4 to 5 days I finished it.
I did like 4 or 5 days too. I kind of played little sections. It was really cool like that. Just get a couple of, get at least like 2 scenes from each character and then kind of quit and then come back.
I did it in 3 days, which is unheard of for me with a video game.
3 days.
That's unheard of? Oh, yeah, because Alyssa's like, oh, let's read a book. Let's play a game. Let's
Well, like, my attention span lasts for about 2 hours, and then I have to jump to something else. But this, like, captivated me.
Yeah, it was good. It was good like that.
Yeah. So, let's get right into the game. I mean, the first scene we open up is with the demo. I don't know if you guys have played the demo, the listeners have played the demo. But the demo opens up, and pretty much you start off in the elevator. You go into a room. And you're in a hallway and everything's broken. And you're like, what the fuck happened here, right? And you're walking through there. And you can start right away, like, looking at clues. You can, like, see a picture on the, like, right there on the dresser. And it's, like, a picture of a family. And then all of a sudden you can run their names and recognize their faces. And it's like, oh, this family is these people, And then you walk in and there's the police are in there. The SWAT team is in there. And they're walking the mom out. And she's like, you need to save my daughter. You need to save my daughter. And then she looks at you. And she's begging you to save her daughter, but then she realized, and she's like, "You're sending this thing in there to save my daughter? Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you can't send that thing in there." And I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like, if I put myself in her shoes, I was like, if I'm in a situation where it's being held on a ledge by a fucking robot, would I want a robot? Would I want an android? An android. Would I want an android to be the one that goes out there to try to save her? You know what I mean?
Of course not. Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why she was stressed out is because you're sending in an android, and an android is the one who's causing the problem.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And then you look at all the choices there that you could have made. So pretty much what I went through is I went in there, I talked to the SWAT team guy, the captain, and then I looked at the gun on the ground. I scanned that. I realized, okay, the android came in here and grabbed the gun. And then I went out to the living room, and I scanned of the dad. And I realized, okay, the dad bought a new android. Maybe that's why this android went deviant and decided to attack the family. He was being replaced. And then I scanned the cop that was the first responder that showed up, and he shot at the android, and the android shot and killed him. And then the gun came up, gun under the table. So when that came up, I put the gun back. Because when it popped up and it said, Android laws prohibit androids from carrying weapons, like it's strictly prohibited for them to carry a weapon, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself into this role, and I'm gonna act like an android would act, especially an android that's working for the police at this point. Like, I'm gonna put the gun back. And I did. I put the gun back. I don't know if you guys kept the gun, but I put it back.
I was like, I break the rules. Let me take it.
You guys took the gun? Oh, man.
My first time I took it, and then I was tired when I first launched the game, so I went back and did the first chapter again twice. And the second time I didn't take it because I saw what happened when I took it. Because, he's like, you have a gun? I know you're lying to me. So wait, we're playing as Connor during this.
We're playing as Connor.
Yeah.
And then who's the dude who plays Connor, Alyssa? Because he's like perfect.
Ryan Deschar? I don't know if his name is French or if you pronounce it. I would assume it's Deschar.
Okay, so that dude is like
misspelling it.
All 3 characters were perfect.
They were.
All 3 actors were like perfect for those characters. See how good the casting is. Yeah. He's actually he's engaged to the girl who plays the blue-haired what was her name? Blue-haired Tracy. Yeah, they're actually in real life they're engaged.
Oh, wow.
They've been streaming this game a lot. I see him on Twitter all the time.
That's pretty cool, man. Does the guy look like him? Does the guy look like Connor?
Oh, exactly.
Really?
You're like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, all the actors and actresses look exactly like they do in real life.
That's pretty cool.
He's from Utah.
Damn. All right. So, for me...
raised outside of Detroit, Michigan. That's kind of weird.
So for me, what happened there, the SWAT team guy got shot. Because, you can save the SWAT team guy that's in the... like, the one that's going to the door. You can somehow save him, and I didn't.
If you rush through it and go... if you immediately go outside.
Oh, that's how you save him? I didn't save him. He fucking died out.
Oh, I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't.
Dead on mine, too. Yep, gone on mine.
He didn't die on mine. The rest of the team managed to get him, and start working on him in mine, but he did get shot.
Oh, wow. No, for me, the dude just dead. He got his head blown off. Fucking Android had perfect thing.
He got shot on the arm in mine.
Oh, man. But yeah, and then I go outside and I was like, hey, man, I know your name is Daniel or whatever. And he's like, how the hell do you know my name? I'm like, I know lots of things about you, man. And he's like, back off, and he's telling me to call the helicopter off. And I I'm like, all right, I'll call the helicopter off. And I tell him to go away. And then I help the dude on the ground. The cop who's on the ground, I help him. Did you guys help that cop? Because this comes up later.
I tried, but the android threatened to throw the girl off the cliff, the building if I did, so I stepped away.
Really?
I stepped away as well.
Did you step away, Iams?
One of them I did, and the other one I actually got in the little med pack or whatever. I can't remember.
Because I know you take off your tie and you tie like a tourniquet around the dude's arm because you're like, he's bleeding out. I need to help him. And then, so I helped him because I was like, whatever, dude. And then the dude became super unstable. But then I somehow calmed him down and I promised him that I would help him. And I was like, I promise I'll help you if you just let her go. And he's like, you sure? You promise? And I was like, yeah, dude, I promise. And as soon as he let the little girl go, they straight killed him.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
That's what happened in mine too.
Yeah.
See, in the demo, that's what happened to me. I got him to give up, so he gave up, and he was on his knees, and then they still shot him. But in my real playthrough with the real game, is he started to freak out, so I had to rush. I was running at him, and I shoulder charged right into him, and the girl fell on the top of the building. She was okay, but him, the other android, and myself, we started to fall over the building. And, the one android's freaking out, but you're just falling and you just close your eyes and splat, you hit.
Yeah.
Really?
That's it.
It's all good.
What happens? Yeah. What happens if you fall off the building like that? Because I don't know what happens.
Connor, you're dead. Yeah. Connor 1 is dead.
Really?
Yep.
So that happened to me the first time I played it.
They replace him with another Connor?
Yeah. So
yes, they do.
Yeah. So later you go and you find out you're in this Zen garden. You visit that one woman in the Zen garden.
Yeah.
And she explains to you hey, try not to get killed because, we transferred your memories from the other Connor to you, Connor 2. But, not everything makes it over. Sometimes things get lost. So you need to stop doing this so you can, do this job that you're sent to do, which is to investigate why droids are becoming deviant.
My Connor died a couple times, dude.
Really? I died
There's
twice.
actually an achievement for killing Connor in every possible scenario. You get a trophy if you kill him every time.
Oh,
mine died multiple, 3, 4, I think.
Mine never died once.
Yeah, twice for me as well.
Oh my God, there's Connor.
I was afraid of killing him.
You bastard!
So mine died twice. Yeah, mine died twice.
Yeah, so
mine died. Mine ended up dying 3 times, but we'll come to that.
That is crazy. So yeah, we finished that mission. Whatever. For me, it was mission successful. You were able to, get the guy to give up, and you killed him or whatever. Fine.
I think no matter what, you save the girl. I don't think you can get.
You can get her killed. Yeah, I don't know if you can get her killed or not. Maybe.
I've heard you
that would
can.
be rough. That'd be rough.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of anyone doing that yet.
Game kills young girl in first chapter.
Yeah.
Story at 11. Our game's too violent when you're letting children die. I mean, that'd probably not be a good move on their part.
The next chapter was the one where you start off as Marcus, which is the second person you play as, and he's the black dude, but he's an android. And you're going to the store, right, to pick up your painting supplies?
Paint. Yeah, the paint.
I think the second chapter is actually when you first are Kara.
When you first Kara?
You first get introduced. Yeah, and then you're Marcus.
Okay. I like the Kara.
No, you're not. You're Marcus first. I'm looking at the chapter list right here.
You're Marcus first? Okay.
Oh,
I was confused. I thought I was Kara first.
There's so everybody who hasn't played it, you're flashing back between multiple characters. The characters you play are all androids. And you're playing either Marcus, Connor, or Kara. And those are the 3 that you're playing.
Yeah, there's 3 stories going on, but they're all heading the same direction, sort of.
Yeah, and eventually at some point in time, everybody meets up at some point in time. But what it is, it's the same timeline, same parts of the day and everything.
It's just different things, yeah.
Yeah, it's what each person is doing at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for me, I get in there and I'm looking at, the first android that I see and the first guy that I see, I was like, man, androids are real helpful, because this old guy's having a hard time to stand up. He's like, oh, I can't get up. And then his android's like, oh, I'll help you. And he's like, oh, thank you, sweetie. And I was like, man, that's so nice. That's so awesome. That's so cool to have an android. And then I keep walking by, and I see this guy jogging by me, and he's like, give me my water bottle. And the android's like, you've only ran 5 out of the 10 miles or something. That's your goal or something like that. And then the dude's like, I didn't ask you how far I ran. I told you to give me my damn water bottle. And he grabs the water bottle out of the android's hand, and he drinks the water, and he throws it back at the android. I was like, all right, that dude's a jerk. Like, what the hell, man? Then you gotta, really? You gotta act like that towards an android? And then I kept walking, and then you go into the middle of the plaza there, where you see the guy that's playing the guitar, and he's playing it's called human music.
Yeah.
I thought that was so interesting, because I sat there and legit listened to him sing for a while.
I did too, but I know people in the crowd were like, go away, you're ruining the experience for us.
Really?
I'm
They
like,
told you
I'm
that?
ruining the experience. I'm just listening to music.
I just stood there and I didn't hear any of that, but I was just standing there watching him play the music, and he was pretty good. I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw him or not, Brun.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I sat there for a little bit.
I didn't stick around too much. I just kind of was going through and getting the paint. I think you're getting paint.
Yeah.
I was curious, man. I was curious about everything. Like,
Same here.
Here's a guy over here. Then there's a guy over here preaching. I'm going to go listen to him for a while.
Oh, I listened to the preacher, too. The preacher is crazy. That dude's like, they're all going to burn in hell if you on an android. You burn them all. We're going to destroy them all. They're going to hell. You can't create people. And I was like, oh, fuck. He has a point. We really can't play God, but at the same time, you kind of are when you're creating things that look like humans and act like humans and think like humans.
Mm-hmm. They said that a couple times in this game. Like we wanted them to look like us, to sound like us, to act like us.
Yeah.
They mentioned that a couple times in the game.
It's crazy, man. And then you look over to the left, and there's all the protesters, and those guys are assholes. They're fucking assholes. Fuck those guys.
They end up beating me up.
Yeah, same here. They beat the hell out of me. I was like, if I would have got the option to punch the guy or something, I would have done it.
I got the option to, but I was like, you know what? I'm a goody two-shoes. I can't do it. I'm going to turn the other cheek, and I let them beat me up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe I didn't punch him either. I got the option, but
maybe I did get the option. I just didn't do it, because like I said, I was really getting into the role, man. I was like, I'm going to play as an android. I'm an android. I'm supposed to follow the rules. And yeah, I thought it was pretty messed up how the androids have to ride in the back of the bus. That was so like, oh man, you're going to do this? I thought that was fucking crazy when they pulled out. I was like, wow. But I was like, in reality, they would do something like this. Humans would. Because that's how we are.
It's been done before in the past.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They're not humans. They're not like us. We would totally do something like that if there was androids around. I mean, I could see it happening. So I was like, yep. They're right in the back of the bus. And then what I thought was really interesting about Marcus was the relationship he had with his owner. Like, his owner treated him like a human. He didn't treat him like an android. He never treated him like an android. Everything you did with your human when you were playing as Marcus with your owner, I guess, it was like emotionally connecting you to that person, like the dude, you woke him up, you gave him the pills, his medicine or whatever, and you were like joking around with him, and you can see the relationship between Marcus and that guy. I thought that was
father-son.
Yeah.
Father-son relationship. He treated him as the older guy treated Marcus as a son.
Yeah, because his son was a douchebag.
Yeah. I also really liked that the older man was played by Lance Henriksen. I thought that was really cool.
Damn.
I was just like, yay!
Yeah, Marcus is Jesse Williams.
Yes.
He's from what, Grey's Anatomy?
Grey's Anatomy, and he's been some other things as well.
He did a good job in his roles too. But I loved how you got to push the dude around in a little wheelchair, and then like he you take him down to eat breakfast, and you got 3 choices of what to do, because he tells you go do something with yourself, and you can stand there and do nothing with yourself. You can like sit down with him. You can go read a book, you can play chess, or you can play the piano. I played the piano, and I played some inspiring music. That shit was cool. I was like, I'm all into this.
With the touchpad.
Yeah. I was like, this is so much fun.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
I wish it was like actual, like I could do like different notes by touching different parts.
I tried to do that. I was trying to like hit the different sides of the pad. I was like, oh, maybe if I hit the left side, it sounds a little bit different.
That dude really wanted Marcus to be like a human. He'd say, you know, when it comes to the painting, he's like, I want you to create something. No, don't look at something and copy it. I
copied his painting at first. I was like, I'm going to copy his painting. And he copied it all perfect. He's like, no, yeah, you're right. He's like, no, I want you to like close your eyes and like think of something and do it. So I thought that was really cool, man. And then we all
What'd you guys paint?
The first time I copied, I think it was a flower pot or something on the table beside me. Mm-hmm. And then the second time when I got the choice, I did humanity, and it was like a human arm reaching down to grab an android arm, and they were almost touching, but they weren't.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I did the one
statue or something. I think I did a statue. Like there was a bust type statue there. I think is what I painted the first time, and then the other one, like my second one, was like something dark. It was like something like my mind, like what I thought about something or something like that. It was creepy looking, but
was it? For me, I painted myself. I painted Marcus, like doubting himself. So it was like him, and he was like all foggy looking, and like he looked like he was confused, you know, like who he really was. So that's who I painted. That's who I picked when he closed his eyes. I was like, "Who do you want to paint?" And I was like, "Myself," and doubting myself, doubts or whatever. And I was putting all that down, and I was like, yeah, this works. It was pretty cool.
I can't remember what mine exactly was, the options I chose, but I remember it was like a silhouette of the guy and the robot behind him.
Oh.
I don't know if it was like, I think it was like something about religion or something. I just tried to pick something that would be way different than I normally would. Just something weird and abstract. And it was a cool painting. It's cool to see that we all got 4 different paintings. I would love to look online what the paintings look like.
Screenshot mine or something if I can get to it.
Yeah, and then we all know what happens after this, guys. We all know.
Yeah.
His son comes in. He's like, I need some money. Obviously, he's on drugs.
Yeah. You could totally tell he was on drugs. Yeah, he was a junkie. I need money, Dad. I need more money. He's like, what the fuck you do with the money I gave you last time? I spent it. Give me more money. You know, and then like, in that situation, what did you guys do? I want to know what you guys did because I know what I did. What did you guys do?
I really wanted to beat him up, but the old guy was saying, no, Marcus, don't hurt him. I'm like, that's like my father figure right now. I'm like, I can't let him down. So I didn't beat up the son, even though I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I was a good little android.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I think I did the same thing. I kind of held back.
Did you?
I knocked the shit out of him.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Oh, yeah, I did.
So,
I ain't putting up with that.
So, Bron, tell me what happens when you fight him. Because I did the same choices as Alyssa and Iams. I stood there and took it. Because the dude, like Alyssa said, the dude kept telling you, don't do it. And I was like, I can't, man. Like, I can't disobey this guy. Like, he's just a nice person. I can't not listen to him. You know what I mean?
The cops come and end up shooting me.
Yeah, but does the dad still die? Does the old guy still die?
No, he does not die.
He does not die.
Oh, man.
For us, the old guy dies.
Yeah, he dies.
No, he doesn't die yet.
Oh,
so. Wow.
Maybe it's later.
Wow.
Yeah, see, so like
that's
I
cool.
punched him and stuff, and then, you know, the police get called, and the son dies in mine, I think.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
the son,
that's what happened. Is I end up punching him and kicking the crap out of him. He ends
up
falling back and like snapping his head on something. So it ends up killing him. So that's when the cops come, and the cops just like blast you, and like shot me in the head. So I don't know if we all end up in the same place regardless of what happens there.
That's
like
weird.
I end up in a junkyard. I end up as Marcus. Okay, so I think we all end up in the same place.
It's just we have different outcomes at the end of that.
Yeah, so the father's alive, but what happens is you killed his son.
So he like he hates you now or something?
Well, he doesn't hate you. He's telling you to leave, like run, leave, hurry, go. Because the police are coming, and you don't run, and then the police come in and just shoot you.
Wow. See, yeah, because in mine, he's like having a stroke, and he dies. I don't know. Does the son beat?
No, he dies.
The son punches him in the stomach,
Yeah.
and then he starts having either a heart attack or a stroke or something while that's going on.
And he's still punching you, and he's telling you, "Oh, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?" And you're standing there taking it, right? He's like, "That's right. You're not going to do nothing because you're a stupid fucking robot." And he's punching you and slapping you, and
and he notified the cops. So the cops come in. The dad's dead, and then the son's like, "I didn't do it. It was this android. The android did it." So the cops take the android away in mine, and then there's a news report on how the son like saw the android kill the dad and all this other shit. It was kind of interesting.
For me, it was the cops kick in the door, and he's like, he did it. And as soon as he says that, they just like point the guns at me and shoot me right in the face. Or they just kill me right away, and I end up in the junkyard.
Yeah.
The
junkyard is creepy as shit too.
Yeah, that is a creepy one. But it's funny because the reason why I fought him is that's where like the real part of me comes in. Like I remember getting my butt kicked in the circle area that we were at. Getting the paint. So I didn't do anything then, and the guy kicked the crap out of me. So then I come to this time, and it's like, oh, this guy's in my face again. So what would I do in real life? Well, the first time I might try to let somebody talk them down or whatever. But then the second time when they get in my face, I'm going to knock the crap out of you. So that's what I did. So it's just the way it is.
So next we move to Kara's scene. When hers is like the
this is crazy.
Most dramatic one.
Crazy shit starts
probably
happening.
The whole entire game.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it leads to other stuff that breaks. I mean, we get some. Other stuff. Later stuff in the game kind of shows.
It's the one that really tests your parental/maternal instincts.
Yeah.
So there's like you have the deadbeat dad. He's a complete junkie. They're doing this red ice.
Yeah, red ice is the big drug in the game.
And I was sitting there watching him do it for a while, and it's so weird just watching people do drugs in a game. Like, you just kind of stand there and watch it. It's just really trippy. There's a little girl, Alice, that he's taking care of. I forget the guy's name. And then you got Kara. Actually, you start as her in the shop, and you're getting picked up by him.
Yeah.
And
getting repaired. Pick up from a repair.
From an accident.
He says you got hit by a car, right? That's what his excuse was. She got hit. He got hit by a car the other day or something. It's like, no, she didn't get hit by a car. You quickly realize that's not what happened.
And she was awesome too, as a character, as an actor, everything. She
was.
So in the house, this nasty house. I mean, it just had this look like it would stink. I could just tell it stinks.
It looked like a house in Detroit.
It's just like, this is 8 Mile right here, dude.
8 Mile, yeah. He was living in the ghetto.
As an Ohio State fan, it is Michigan. Come on now.
And it's just like the guy's a complete dick to his daughter, and he's just yelling at her and telling her to do shit and just get away and go to your room and all this stuff. And you have a choice to go around and clean. I cleaned everything.
I did too.
I did too.
Yep. Did the dishes, everything, man.
See, you guys didn't get the snap his neck option when you walked up behind him?
No.
Oh, me either, but that's what I really wanted.
Oh, yeah. Well, I said, whoa, that's pretty cool.
That's an option?
Yeah, this is how bad this guy is, because the whole time I'm cleaning, I was like, where's the snap his neck option?
Yeah,
I know, that's what I mean.
And I thought it was really interesting how when you're playing the game as an android and they command you to do something, all of a sudden you can't do that thing. Because when I was cleaning the house, I walked in front of the TV once, and he was like, and then he was like watching this stupid hockey game or whatever. Then I walked by it again, and he was like, "Get the fuck out of the front of the TV! I'm trying to watch the fucking game. Why you keep blocking the damn view?" And then Kara's like, okay. I won't walk in front of the TV again. So then when I try to walk, I was like, I'm going to do it again. I tried to walk. There was like a red wall there. It was like, you can't do this. I was
That's cool. That's what robots would probably kind of see with their sensors. That was neat.
For sure. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I cleaned up the whole place, though. I made that place look really nice.
Did you find his red ice in the laundry soap?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, don't touch my shit. Don't touch my shit.
Did you go up to Alice's room and open the box she gives you the key to?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she gave you the key.
You see her drawings, and then you see really what happened.
Yep. Yeah, you see that he beat you up, that she drew a bunch of pictures of him beating you up. And then it goes down to the dinner scene. You know, you make him dinner, and then he gets all high, and he tells you, stand there. Don't move. And like as an android, Kara takes the command seriously. She just stands there. She doesn't fucking move. And then that's when you see him getting really high. He gets super high. He's like, it's all her fault. That little fucking bitch. He's talking about his daughter. And he's like, I'm going to fucking
using that
kill
language,
her.
too. He's saying that.
He's saying that.
You little fucking bitch.
Yeah, he is saying this, right? So I was like, man. I was like, oh, can I get the option to just kill this guy right here? And then as soon as I saw him started walking that way, as soon as I see him take off the belt, that's when I was like, break protocol. Fuck this shit.
Too.
I'm going right upstairs,
I gotta go
dude.
save her.
Okay, before you guys talk about this, I'm going to tell you what Scott Clark from the Gaming Outsider did right here. He did not break protocol. The guy kills the little girl, and then he kills Kara, and he never sees Kara again.
So that story is just gone?
In the game, ever.
Really?
Yeah, he only saw that first scene with her, and then he never saw her again. So everything after that is gone.
Because that has some really cool shit that happened with Kara at the end of the game.
That's a huge part of the game, too.
That's a big part of the game.
No wonder why the game would be shorter.
Cuts out 5 hours of gameplay.
I mean, I was telling him, like, dude, that some of her stuff is like my favorite stuff. Like, you missed all that. But yeah, I fought him back. We got the dude, got the girl, I ran off with the girl, hopped on that bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck, if I would have done that, I wouldn't have wanted to cry at the end.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, because we were talking about all the people who played these characters, Valerie Curry is who plays Kara.
She did a good job.
She's on Twilight, The Following, and Twilight.
Yeah.
So.
Damn, all these people are famous actors. David Cage really goes top notch, man. When you get these people.
Well, the guy that plays Hank is like one of my favorites.
He's really cool too. Yeah. Hank.
Yeah, that's
Hank.
Clancy Brown. If anybody's seen Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
He's the main guard guy, the one that talks about like doing his taxes and stuff like that. He's the main guard. Yeah. Plays that guy. So
we all saved her.
We all saved her.
We all Scott, you dick.
Fucking dick.
Scott, you dick.
Get away. Get on that bus, man. I could not imagine a game without Kara.
I couldn't either.
My favorite part.
I honestly couldn't imagine a game without her. She was a big part of the story, and I felt more into the game when I was playing with her than most of the other characters. Her and Connor were my, like, I would really pay attention and just get the whole story when I'm playing them, because that little girl, dude, she stole my fucking heart. That little fucking
Alice.
girl, I was like, oh my god, dude.
and as a father who has a daughter,
yep.
as Alice was just, my whole thing was like, I just want to take care of her, And the funny thing is like, since he didn't have that entire timeline or that line, it leads to one of the biggest twists of the game.
Yes.
I know.
If not the biggest twist of the entire game.
Totally.
So it's just like, I don't know how you, oh man, you missed, that's a lot.
You missed a lot.
Poor Scott.
Damn,
He's gonna have
Scott.
to replay.
He teaches kids that age.
Wow.
Come on, dude.
I know. Like,
He's gonna have to replay.
Totally.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to replay just to make sure he breaks that protocol and goes deviant at that part, just so he can get the experience of all the way through. Because he doesn't see, who was the guy we were talking about, Luther. Yeah, like he doesn't get Luther or any of that stuff. Like you miss all that.
Mansion.
Yeah, the guy Sid from the Toy Story, like you're saying, the grown-up Sid.
Grown-up Sid, the Russian guy.
He doesn't get to go to that broken down theme park or whatever.
Oh, that was cool with all the Jerrys. Yeah, man. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I mean, so what happens after this? Iams, take us to the next chapter, dude.
The next chapter is
Might have to start grouping chapters.
Yeah, group a few chapters together.
Yeah.
Where it says Marcus the painter, so I don't really know where Marcus is at. Maybe that's where it's more with the
junkyard.
I think
go to the junkyard.
Yeah, the junkyard is the next part.
Junkyard was cool. That was cool when you wake up and you're like...
Well, the Junkyard's way down there. Junkyard's chapter 11 on this list.
When you're broken down or whatever and you wake up in the Junkyard, dude, as Marcus, I feel bad.
Maybe it's broken. Chapter 8. Yeah, it says the painter. I don't know, Marcus.
I don't know. That's probably what happened with the fight or whatever.
Yeah. And let's just go to Connor, though. Connor's his partners. I think that's where he meets Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when you meet Hank. Yeah, Hank is a cool character. I like him. He, from the get-go, doesn't like you because you're a fucking robot. He's like, what the fuck? I have to work with this fucking robot.
The first thing you do as Connor, like when you're investigating the scene, you lick blood off and put it in your mouth, and Hank's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's disgusting. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah,
I laughed pretty hard when he said that. I was laughing. I was like, God, yeah. And he was like, I'm analyzing blood. I could do it on the spot. And he's like, don't do that shit again, man.
Yeah, Hank's funny, and it's like I made it like my mission to be Hank's friend.
Yeah, same here.
You know, like I wanted to be Hank's friend, and I think what it boils down to that you find out in probably a chapter we may not remember to talk about, but I think the reason why he doesn't like androids is something that happened to him with his son.
Yeah, him and his son. Well, pretty much we could talk about it now. Him and his son were driving on a car one day. They were driving down the road. They got into a car accident. And the first responders to the scene were androids, like android paramedics. And android paramedics are programmed to, like, probability of who has the higher chance to live. So they'll try to save the person who has the better chance of living. In the case of the accident, Hank had the higher probability than his son. So the androids fixed him up before they fixed his son. And he blames the androids for his son dying. Like, he's fucking pissed at them. He's like, you pieces of shit, you know, like, how can you put, like... Because, you know, humans, we all value life, right? We value any life. And a machine doesn't. A machine will calculate, like,
it's all numbers.
Yeah, it's all numbers.
And as humans and as parents and stuff like that, we value our families. Like, I value my kids and my family's life over mine.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want it to be that. And if anybody's ever watched iRobot, this is like almost directly out of iRobot. It's the same reason why Will Smith doesn't like androids, is because he was in a car accident and his car was in water, I think, was sinking in water, and the android calculated his rate of survival versus everybody else, and I think pulls him out.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing there, but that's just where, you know, maybe if this really comes true and we do have androids in the future, maybe they should put the calculation in where you save the kids first.
Save the children first. Women and children first.
That's true.
I mean, right now we're dealing with that. Right now with these self-driving cars, it's all calculations. They can't like swerve from this dog, or, you know, and then hit this little girl, or it's just going to be like, it's going to be sensors and numbers.
Yeah, because
it's going to be moral choices.
At what point does the car say, I'd rather hit this deer than, you know, fly off the road and hit that pole over there? It's going to kill you, you know? Like,
just going to try to avoid it altogether. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's why
Hank doesn't really care.
And everybody loves a buddy cop movie, and everybody loves a buddy cop movie about two guys who hate each other, and by the end they're best friends. It always happens, and it's always always feels good. So that's what you're trying to do. I mean, I would love to go through this and kind of like be the dick and like not try to be Hank's friend to see. There were some cool moments later on.
Being Hank's friend pays off in the end of the game. Yeah, it really does.
I may not know.
It pays off a lot.
Okay,
because
I don't think I know either.
During the game, the first scene when you first meet Hank, did you guys find the android that was hiding? I think he was hiding in the attic or something, right?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, he's hiding in the attic, and you go up there and you're like, get the fuck down here, and then you get him and you're interrogating him. How were you guys when you interrogated him? Were you nice to him? I was a dick. I was like straight up.
I was nice to him.
I was a dick.
But me being nice to that android got me killed. That was my first Connor kill.
Really?
Me too.
Not me. Me, I was rough on him. I was like, you need to tell me why the hell you killed this human. You did it. You're a fucking robot. Why the hell did you do it? And like the dude's like the robot was crying. He's like, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. And then like his like stress level was like 90%. And if I got him to 100, I knew he was going to blow up. So I had to be nice for a little bit. Like, all right, I understand. I understand why you did it. You were being, mistreated. We understand. We don't want to be mistreated. And he's like, okay. And then finally he breaks and he tells you why he did it. He tells you that the dude attacked him or whatever and all that. And you get the confession right out of him. And then that's when the asshole cop walks in, the other dude. Who's that cop? The cop that's not Hank, but they work in the same station, the other detective.
You got his name right, asshole cop.
Asshole cop, pretty much. That's asshole cop. You're going to know who asshole cop is if you ever play this game, because that dude's a dick. He goes in there and the robot's like, I don't, and the dude's like, put your hands behind your back, and the robot's like, no. And then the dude's like, pulls out his gun. That's the first thing he does. It pulls out his gun and points it at him. He's like, I'm going to blow you away if you don't put your hands behind your back. And I managed to calm the guy down. I told him, look, calm down. The robot is just going to follow you out of here. I don't know what happened to you guys, but that's what happened to me. And I didn't get
caught. That's why I got killed.
Yeah, he steals the cop's gun, kills Connor, and then shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Yeah, so mine was the same thing. I was real nice at the beginning, and it wasn't working, so then I got mean and got the confession. But yeah, the cop comes in, he shoots Connor, was like, bop! And then shoots himself. I'm like, geez, I just got 2 killed now. After the person already explains, stop getting killed. I'm like, out of nowhere, why did you just shoot Connor?
Kill. I'm like, is that the end of my Connor playthrough? What?
Wow.
And then I'm like, oh, there's another one after this.
No, for me, I straight up told the android to calm down. I told him hey, look, can you calm down? Are you willing to listen to him? And then the cops they all calm down. And then Hank was kind of on my side. He told the cop, put your fucking gun. No, what happened was the dude had the gun on me because he took the gun away from he was pointing at the android that was under arrest. Then he pointed it at Connor. He was like, you need to back the fuck off. And Hank pulled out his gun and pointed it at the detective. And he's like, how about you calm the fuck down? And then the detective was like, oh, really? It's going to be like this, Hank? And Hank is like, yeah, this is how it's going to be. And then, Connor was like, look, everybody calm down. I told him to calm down. He's going to just walk out of here and everybody's going to be fine. And then the asshole cop, doesn't like Connor in my game at all. He hates Connor. He's like,
yeah, same.
This isn't over. You better watch your back. And then Hank is like, yeah, how about you watch your back? And then he puts his gun away. That's what happened in my playthrough in that room.
I get to punch that guy later.
Yeah.
I did.
You did. I don't know if I did.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
But
we'll get to that.
Okay, so when you were with Kara, because they say
Kara.
both in the game.
It's Kara.
Right? Okay. So Kara, when you're with her and the little girl, right? And you don't have a place to stay. It's a rainy night. You're in that little city or whatever.
I feel like this is going to be different for everybody.
There's options. You can either try to go in that broken building. The abandoned building. You can go in the car. I wanted to go into the hotel, but you needed cash, so I went to the liquor store with the girl. Couldn't get in. He wouldn't help me, obviously. I'm just coming in I need some help. Whatever, blah, blah. He wouldn't help me, so I used the little girl as a distraction to knock over the cans, and he's like, oh, what are you doing over there? And then I stole money out of the register.
Oh, shit, you did?
I stole $50 out of the register, and then I went outside. The little girl follows me out. Then we go back to the hotel, get the hotel room, go up to the hotel. That's where she sees the news reports. She cuts her hair off, dyes it. You can just change it in the mirror. You can just change whatever color you want.
Mm-hmm.
That was totally different for me.
Yeah, me too.
That was totally different for me.
I was different.
Now with me, at first I planned on doing the motel thing, so I stole the guy's clothes from the laundromat. Alice didn't like me for that.
Oh, I did that,
But then I was like, I can't steal money. So I went to the convenience store, and when the clerk wasn't looking, I went and stole a pair of pliers, or wire cutters, so I could get into the abandoned house. So I went to the abandoned house, and I was like, I already stole clothes. I might as well steal some wire cutters. They're probably cheaper than however $40 you need for the motel anyway. I feel a little better about this.
Okay.
So I went to the abandoned house, and you meet Ralph.
The crackhead android.
Yeah.
Crazy android, yeah.
The one who has half his face burned off.
Yeah.
And
I
everything.
didn't get to meet that guy.
I met him.
Oh, he's a character.
weird.
He's a character. Now, did you two meet him as well, or?
Yeah, I met him.
I did too. Yeah.
Now, how'd you handle him?
I told him we were just gonna leave. I was like, we're leaving, dude. Like, we're out of here. And we just left.
Oh, mine was I just basically did what he asked, because then he let you stay there and stuff like that. So, but then in the morning he wants to like make you breakfast. And then
and he has like this rat he cooks for you.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to shove it on Alice, and Alice doesn't want it.
What?
Yeah.
And with me, I played the card where Ralph had mentioned he wanted to be a family, so I'm like, you're the father, I'm the mother, Alice is the child. Would you force your child to eat something she didn't want to eat? And he's like, no. And that's when the police come and...
the police come? What?
Yeah, Connor shows up.
Connor and the police.
Connor and Hank show up. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
With mine, I didn't do the family thing. I just pulled. Eventually, it got to the point where I thought he was going to hurt Alice, so I just pulled the gun on him.
So I was in that. When I was in that. Okay, so you're upstairs. You see the cops pull up. You're playing as Kara, and you're like, oh crap, we gotta go. Alice, you're trying to get her ready so we can get out of there, right? And then it switches over and you're playing as Connor, and you're like, oh, I gotta go. I don't want to even chase, but you gotta go. You gotta go chase her down with Connor, and you see her trying to get away, and you gotta like chase her, and you're like, I want her to get away though.
That never happened to me, dude. So to me, this is what happened. I went to the thing. I stole the dude's laundry clothes. I went to the store and I was like, steal the $40. No, I was like, I'm not going to steal the $40 because I was thinking if I steal the $40, this guy's going to call the cops right now. I don't want the cops here. So I stole a teddy bear for Alice, and I went to like where the abandoned car is, and I found pliers, and that's how I broke the fence into the house, and then I found the crazy android in there, and then I was like, all right, dude, we're leaving. And then I finally told Alice, like, look, we need to stay in the car. We have nowhere else to go. Like, it's just be one night. We'll stay here. And she was like, okay. And then we stayed there, and I gave her the teddy bear, and then she was like, oh, thank you, you know. And when Connor and the cop showed up, I was across the street from them, and their backs were to me. So they didn't see me walk out of the hotel. They were just, like, looking around, but I was able to sneak out of that whole area. I just snuck out of there. I did a bunch of, like, sneaking
Not me.
things.
I had to play as Connor and chase
Well, actually, I had the choice with Connor to either chase or obey the protocol and just stay at the fence. I'm like, it'll be more exciting if I chase them, even though I don't want to.
Yeah, so into that back alley, and they jump over the fence and then climb down the freeway. Then you're playing as Kara trying to get across the freeway with this little girl, and cars are coming. Boom! You're getting hit. Like boom! Your shoulder.
I didn't
getting
see
hit,
that at all. I didn't see that at all. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah, so they made it on mine. They made it across the road, and as Connor, I was going to jump the fence, but Hank said no. You have to obey me, and said you're not going. So Hank stopped me from going over.
Yep, Scott didn't get to see any of that.
Oh man, but let's keep going here, man. For the stories, I mean, lots of things happen in this game. Crazy things happen in this game. So I don't know where you guys want to go from here. Do you guys want to fast forward a bit, or you guys want to?
We can just move a little faster.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, fast forward a little bit too.
But okay, just real quick, that scene where you're in the junkyard and you're playing as Marcus, that was really creepy, dude.
I killed all the robots to take their parts.
Robot parts everywhere. Some of them are still moving. Some of them are just walking around brainless, looking like zombies because they're missing their whatever brain pieces they probably got. And it's just you're searching for pieces to fix yourself because you're broken. You're messed up. Just putting on a leg, you put on an arm, putting on whatever to get going. And that was just a really neat scene. I took a couple of screenshots.
Yeah, and during that scene, I came across a robot that had a functioning centerpiece that you needed for your chest. And I was about to pull it out, and the robot's like, please don't. Please don't remove it. Yeah, I don't want to die. I didn't remove it.
I didn't
I did. I was like, fuck you. Stop fighting me. I'm pulling this out of you right now.
I didn't do it because I figure I spared him, and eventually you still find the piece, but you did spare that one because you actually come across another one later where she's just like, please end it, like,
yeah,
you know, please,
and I killed her too.
Take my piece, you know, take it. So you do what she asks, and you.
I actually did not encounter that one.
Yeah.
I just found one randomly in a pile of bodies.
Yeah.
It's funny how you guys all let that droid live. I was like, nope, dude, I need this part. I'm killing you right now. You're useless. I can live. You're dead. And I took his part. And then the other one that was begging me to kill him, I was like, yeah, no hesitation. All right, I'll kill you. Boom. Killed him.
I've never even met that one. So.
Yeah, the one that wanted to live was a male, and that wanted to die was a female.
Yeah.
But
That was
yeah,
messed
Jesus
up.
is like, oh, I killed the guy that was begging me to live, so you're asking me to kill you.
Let me kill you real quick. Pretty much is what happened. I mean, I don't know. Lots of things happened to me in this story, man. Jericho was pretty cool when you get there and you meet everybody and you're inspiring everybody to be your friend or whatever, to like look at you as a leader, even though you're not real. I don't know how Marcus like gets elected leader. I don't know how does that happen in the game, because he shows up and people are already there.
Yeah, so the whole thing is, as you're playing this game and you see deviants going, you see the R9?
RA9?
RA9.
Yeah, RA9.
You start seeing RA9 everywhere, and you come to find out that RA9 is like this prophecy or this myth or some legend or something that there's going to be an android who is going to come and save all the androids, right? Mm-hmm. So when you start kind of realize, like, okay, Marcus is RA9, like he is going to be that spot. So you just start doing things, and I think what it was when you're in Jericho, like you were the one at first thought was like, I'm going to go get the parts. Like I'm going to go get the stuff everybody needs because everybody's just dying on Jericho.
Yeah.
They're just there till they die. So he's like, well, I'm going to go to the dock and I'm going to steal the parts everybody needs to survive. So you go and you do that, and then that's when you start to become a leader because they see that you put yourself on the line to save others.
Did you kill that guard that sees you? Because you have a choice.
The android?
I didn't.
Yeah. Changed him.
No, what I did.
Probably did.
No. What I did was I grabbed him and I shut him up. Like I grabbed him and I pulled him into like a thing, and then like when I was leaving, he's like, "Let me join you," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay, join me." And then I had turned the other androids that were in the little lockers. I opened them up and
the Connors.
Yeah, I turned them on, and then he's like, "Hey, we could steal this truck and drive it away if we want to. If you just go get the keys over there." And I went and did that too.
I told the guy no.
I did too.
I told him he can't, because they're like, he's gonna betray us. He's gonna be a traitor. He's already on their side. We can't have him on the inside. So I'm like, nope, can't come with us.
Really?
Oh, I let him.
Yeah, I let him.
Nope, I didn't know.
Yeah, you get the option to steal that truck.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the truck too. I was like, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Fuck yeah.
So so that's eventually what happens, and with Marcus, you're going along and you just start doing these things, and the whole time I was playing Marcus, I don't know how you guys were playing as Marcus was. I was taking the no kill. We're going to be, diplomacy type of scenario, like. We're not going to destroy things. We're not going to kill people. We want to be free. We want to have our own rights. We want to be seen as equals. Well, we're not going to get that way by just destroying and killing everybody.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that scene, because that was when you break into the store. That was their big plan of all the androids in Jericho. It was, we're going to break into the stores and we're going to convert all the robots that are in the stores, or the androids, I keep calling them robots, or the androids in the store, into us. Like, we're going to wake them up and tell them to follow us. And we're going to get all our brothers and our family together, and we're going to join. And then, so I did all that. And I converted all the robots on the street, like all the ones that were working, ones that were doing. I was like, everybody's joining me. I blocked the road, and I crashed the truck into the store. And I turned everybody with me. But when that scene ends, it gives you the option, like the girl, I forget her name. The girl that's
North.
Yeah. North. She's like, Marcus, you need to show them what to do. They're gonna follow your lead.
Yeah.
So that scene, what did you do?
I tagged on stuff and I did everything peacefully.
Me too.
I did too. I was like, I'm gonna put the flags. And then I started moving the cars onto the road, and then I started like doing a bunch of other shit, hacking all the TVs and shit. I did all that. Yeah, that's what I did. North kind of didn't like that. She wanted us to like destroy everything, but I was like, no, dude, like, no, we can't destroy things because shit is not going to end up right if we destroy things.
Yeah, she was like the previous leader, right? Because she was the one always saying like, look, Marcus, look, they're looking up to you. You got to show them what to do.
Yeah.
You got to be a leader. You got to be the, you got to show.
She was a hard ass though. She was the one that wanted to kill humans and shit. She was the one that was all about like revenge.
Yeah, she was very confusing.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was always trying to poke you to be bad, like do something bad, do something bad.
Yeah, I was always against her in the game.
But then she respected it when you did something good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I will always follow you, Marcus. It's like, you just telling me to fuck off earlier because I didn't kill somebody, whatever, you know. But during that scene, when you let all the androids go and they're running down the road because the cops are coming, gunshots go off, and you show up and there's 2 cops on their knees.
Yeah.
And they hand you the gun and they're like, what do you want to do to them? What did you guys do to those cops?
I gave the gun to the other android and said, I'm not going to make this decision. I don't want to make this decision. And I turned around and then the guy ended up killing the cops.
Oh.
Okay.
I just said, violence begets violence. I'm not going to shoot anyone. I just put the gun down and walked away.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Brun?
I didn't shoot him either. I didn't do anything.
I straight shot them. Fucking execution. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I shoot them straight up. Right there. Dead. Cold blood. Hey, man, they took one of us. We take one of them. That's the rules.
Peaceful. What?
Jesus has spoken, an eye for an eye.
I straight up shot those 2 cops. And then, you know what's messed up? Because the very scene after that, you're with Hank in a park. You're like at a park. And Hank is sitting there and he's like all drunk. And you get out of the car, ask Connor, and you go up to Hank and you're like, what's going on, Hank? And he's like, Miller. And like he says the cops' names and he's like, why did they have to be them? Why did they have to be Miller? And you're like, well, what do you mean? He's like, he just became a father 3 months ago and he just had a new daughter. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, man. I feel so bad.
Yeah, I heard the same thing because they died in my...
He's like, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
He just became a father 3 months ago. Why did it have to happen to him? And Hank's all fucking drunk out of his mind and shit, trying to forget about it.
Yeah, I don't remember what his discussion with me, if he mentions that or not, as in, because mine didn't die, like they survived, so I don't think if he said anything like, thank goodness because he just became a father, like I don't remember hearing or remembering what he was saying, but I think that's where you learn. Yeah, go ahead.
During my playthrough, he just was kind of sitting there, as Connor, you're just asking him, are you okay? What are you thinking about it? He kind of mentions his son a little bit, and then he stops, and then he gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
So that's all that happens with that route.
Then you get to go in the house for the creator of these things, and you get to see all the cute chicks.
Yeah.
Right? Same girl. There's all kinds of them. All these cute, hot chicks.
Wait. At the park, did Hank pull a gun on you? Did he put a gun to your head?
No.
For Connor in my playthrough, he did. Because he was like, I don't trust you. And then he pulled out a gun and pointed it at my head. And he's like, and like as Connor, I was like, Hank, what are you doing? And he's like, what's stopping me from blowing your fucking head off right now? And then Connor, like, I was like cocky about it. I was like, put like the robot decision or something like that. Like I made like the robot decision where like Connor stepped up to the gun and put his head to the barrel, and he's like, you won't blow my head off because you need me. And Hank is like, you don't think I don't need you? You're just a damn fucking machine that, they sent to help me. I don't need your help.
I think mine was like that.
And then Connor's like, no, you need my help. Without me, we wouldn't get anywhere. And you know that. You need my help. And then Hank, like, and then Connor mentions something about Hank's son. He's like, I know what happened to your son. And Hank is like, you don't know what happened to him. You don't know anything about that. And he's like, yes, I do. I looked up the story. I know you used to be like a decorated cop and all this stuff. And then that's when Hank puts his gun down. But I know Hank can't blow he could kill you right there as Connor.
Oh.
That could happen.
Yeah, I don't, for some reason, I think I remember having a gun pulled on me, but I don't remember why, and I don't know if it was there. I do remember talking about his son, because I think that's where you bring up, when you go to Hank's house to get him one time, he's like passed out on the floor. And you can see a picture of his son on his kitchen table, and I think that's when I asked him, like, hey, I saw this picture of your son, and I think that's where you learn a little bit about the android.
Yeah, did you get the dog's name right?
Sumo?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I got it right. I was surprised I got it right. I'm like, oh crap, Sumo. And the dog's like, oh, cool.
I didn't get the son's name right. I couldn't remember it. I was like, oh.
Oh, either could I. Yeah.
Yeah. So man, dude, lots of things happen, and then the protest happens. the protest was cool. That was a cool moment. Do you guys remember
down the street?
Yeah. You turn all the robots with you. You like start off inside the mall and you like are converting all the robots to your side and you're playing as Marcus and you're walking out to the street and then you're converting all the other robots by like pressing square, circle, triangle, X, as you look towards them and you just press the buttons.
Yeah. So what's up with that though? He just has this power to change people just by touching them, and now he's just like pointing at them.
Yeah, just looking at them.
Jedi.
Yeah.
He's a
Jedi.
Jedi android.
He's got what Maeve has in Westworld.
Yeah.
But when we were marching down the street, I was chanting "We are alive." That's what I was chanting the whole time we were going down there. We are alive, equal rights. We are alive.
Yeah.
I just changed it up.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah. When the SWAT team shows up, what did you guys do?
I forgot what exactly I did, but I'll tell you, this is where Marcus dies for me. Yeah, that's the end of Marcus's story for me. He
What?
died right
Really?
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Okay. See, I didn't know.
Wow. Okay, so let me tell you what happened to me, Iams. So for me, like the police shows up, it's the same cop from the top of the building, it's him. And he's like, you need to disperse right away. And then Jericho, or the dude, I forget his name, he's the black android that's with you in Jericho. He's like, Mark, stand our ground. No matter what happens, we can't move. And North is like, we need to rush him. We outnumber them. We can take him on. And I was like, no, stand still. Put your hands up and stand still. So like everybody put their hands up and they stood there. And like they shot at a few androids and then you still stood there and they kept shooting and you still stood there. And then finally, by like the third time they shot at us, I was like, run. I just told everybody to run and everybody just ran and got away. But
Yeah, that's where I got cocky and then I got shot in the head.
You did?
Done. Yeah, I was done. That was the end of my thing. I was like, I'm doing good decisions. This story has been great. This is dead. I was like, oh fuck. I mean, damn it, I was trying to do that peacefully. Cops didn't give a shit. They're just like, they didn't care.
Yeah. I think with mine, I decided to disperse at some point in time. And I think, I was like, okay, we'll disperse. Because I remember putting our hands up or something at one point. But I think it's like I decided to disperse, so we started to disperse, and I think they still counted and started shooting. So then at that point, we're like, run! And we're all running away.
Yeah.
So.
That was my choice, too.
Yeah,
that's weird.
There.
I just stood there and let them shoot at us, and then I was like, sacrifice or run, and I just put run, and then the dude just.
That's what happened. I pushed sacrifice accident.
Sacrifice. You ran towards the cops. Oh, you're crazy, man.
Well, it's good. It's good to know that that's where it ends. So now I'm curious on the rest of your thing because, I'll wait till we decide to talk about the last chapter. I'll save that stuff for there.
Marcus
But
dead.
we haven't talked about Kara for a bit in that. So she goes to that crazy guy's house.
Yeah.
Where so her main mission. So her mission is to Canada.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
she ends up going to this one guy's house who's crazy, and he's the one we're calling Sid from Toy Story because he's like taking apart androids.
Yeah, he's the Russian guy, right?
Something. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you end up going to his house, and he ends up trying to reboot you. So with mine, it's like he got half my memory cleared. But then I started to remember Alice and stuff, and I eventually just remember who Alice was and was able to get Alice outside. And then we get outside, and Luther's there, and that guy like tries to tell Luther to do something. He says no, and all those androids come that he was like taking apart because I freed all of them.
Yeah, same here.
So if you freed all those androids, they come out and just kick the crap out of him and end up killing him, I believe.
Yeah.
So then Luther ends up joining you and Alice to go to Canada, and then you go to look up this other person.
You know what? Just note something. If I ever made an android and he was going to help me do stuff, I'm going to make a robot like Luther. I'm going to buy a robot. That guy looked like he was ripped out of Gears of War.
Scary motherfucker. Yeah. He used to hell out of me when he first showed up. Like you walk into the living room and he's standing there. I was like, oh fuck. As soon as he showed up, I was like, nothing good is going to happen in this house.
And Alice is like, I don't trust him. And you're like, I don't trust him either. But let's follow him into his basement.
Let's go into the basement, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Don't worry, everything will be okay.
Yeah, from situation, I was able to escape right away. I was able to kick over the cart and kick over the lamp, and knock over the bottles and short circuit the whole thing. So like none of Kara's memory was erased. It was like just no memory loss at all.
Oh mine was like Bruns. I lost a bunch of stuff. I had to start remembering stuff just from seeing things around that house.
That was mine too, because I didn't realize she could pull the wires out of her arm. So my car got her memory completely erased, but going through the house and looking at stuff, she started remembering Alice. And by that time, I could save Alice after I'd remembered all this stuff. I didn't get caught by the crazy guy as he was going around the house. So that was my little playthrough.
I was in that house for a while.
Yeah, so was I. I let the polar bear loose.
Yeah, I did.
Lit the house on fire. Shit was crazy. I was like, I'm doing everything into this house. I don't care.
There was a polar bear?
Yeah, there's a polar bear in a cage.
Yeah. There's a cage. Yeah, you can let it loose, and then he'll end up like attacking, and that's how you get away. That's how I got away.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't do the polar bear. I did light the house on fire though.
Yeah, the polar bear was from one of those robot zoos. You know, like you see all these things about robot zoos. Is it ethical?
Yeah.
People are completely androids, and there was like you'd read things about a fully android band. Like, is it or like athletes?
Athletes, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you know who didn't see any of this stuff?
Scott. I mean, he missed all of this. I love Kara, man. Her story was the best. Man.
Because it had purpose. You had one goal, and it was to save that girl and get her to safety.
Let's go to the next scene with Kara when you go to the theme park and you're in there and it's all snowy. I felt so bad for that little girl, dude. I was like, this is fucking horrible. Like, I even thought, like, would it be just good for Kara to just like let her get picked up by the police or something? Just like call the cops, let them pick her up and take her somewhere, like to a safe place or something. But I was like, but then she would end up back at her dad's house, right? And
dad was like the worst asshole ever.
Yeah, but that whole scene in the snow made me question myself of why I was doing this as Kara. I was like, man, like you're taking this kid on a wild ride, dude. Like in the snow and the rain. Oh, it was horrible. And that whole scene was crazy.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to go back to her dad on mine because he's dead.
Really?
Yeah. Alice shot her dad in mine.
In mine, she didn't. In mine, she just like pushed him over and he kind of like fell over. And then like I started running down the stairs and he was like chasing me down the stairs out the door. He was like, I'm going to get you, you bitches. And then like I got on the bus and he's standing in the porch looking at us. And I actually saw him inside the police station when I was in the police station with Connor.
Oh, okay.
I saw him in there making a police report about what happened.
I did too.
And later on, you get to meet him again at the border.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that part because I found his gun upstairs in his room when I was cleaning his room. And so when he was going, so when you break protocol, I know we're going in reverse now, I'm sorry. When you break protocol and you're going upstairs, so Alice is going into her room, I went straight to his room, straight for the gun, and then he went around the corner into Alice's room, and I followed him in, and I missed the button prompts for me to shoot him. So what happened is he ends up knocking the gun out of my hands, and he's over top of me getting ready to punch me, and then boom, she just blasts him. So that's what happened.
What? That's crazy. Totally didn't. I didn't even know he had a gun.
Yeah,
I wish I could have done that.
Yeah, so I did get the good part of that. But yeah, in that park, like it was just like, hey, find shelter, and then of course all those droids, androids come and want to like let you ride on the.
That was a magical moment.
Like,
that was magical.
They thought they were getting attacked, and no, we're not here to hurt you.
We're just happy. Yeah, we're happy that there's people here. Yeah. It was cool, man.
That was a great moment, though, when she got on that character.
I was like, man, this is such a heartwarming moment. I was like, I felt good for that little girl because I was like, she's been through some shit. This is fucking awesome. Like all these robots are helping him out. That was so cool.
Yeah, and there's, we'll come to the part here. Like all this is like a heartwarming part, but then that twist later on, it kind of angered me. Because here I am, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But
I didn't see that coming, man. I did not see that coming, not even a little bit.
Yeah, so but so that's the theme park, and eventually Kara and Luther and Alice get to another woman's house who helps androids.
Rose.
Helps androids out. Rose, right? And so she sets up to where if you can just get to the bus stop, I think is what it is, they'll take you into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So, and which doesn't end up happening. You end up having to take a boat, but that when you're reaching the part when you're crossing the river to Canada, that's the last mission. So with
that
them,
didn't happen with me.
That didn't happen with me either.
Oh, you guys made. Oh, see, okay.
This is different.
You guys made the buses then, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, this is. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just a crazy fucking story. Like, this is insane. So, obviously, you got the one where you go across the river, right? I didn't. I got the bus one.
Okay.
Alyssa, you got the bus one too?
No, I was taken to Jericho, just straight, like walking, sneaking past cops to Jericho.
That's what happened to me too. Yeah. So, I thought that scene was pretty cool when the cop shows up at the door. And he's knocking, and the kid's freaking out. He's like, oh, shit. Oh, they're going to catch us. They're going to catch us. They're going to catch us. And you're like, calm the fuck down, dude, you know? And then you're putting away all the evidence. Oh, I was so nervous in that scene, dude.
Yeah, because it would show his suspicion level, and then you'd see something and go,
And then he walked in. And then he walked in. He's like, do you want a cup of coffee? Yeah, sure. And I walked over to the kitchen. I'm like, give me a prompt to pick up a knife or something right now. Like, I'll stab this cop in the neck if I have to. Because I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, and then obviously, I think when he asked, like, is anybody else in the house? I told him, like, oh yeah, my daughter's upstairs sleeping. So when they made the noise upstairs, he was like, huh, it seems like your daughter woke up. And you're like, oh yeah, she must have. And then when the laundry room, when the androids in the laundry room make the noise, and as he's walking out, he's like, what's in there? I was like, a dog.
That's what I said. Our dog sleeps in there.
I said the washer.
The washer.
I was so terrified the whole time because I told Luther and Alice to hide in the pantry, and it's only covered by a curtain in the kitchen. And he walks right past. I'm like, don't look.
Oh, man. I told him to go upstairs. That's why I just told him, go upstairs. And then went upstairs. That's when he asked, like, is anybody else in here? I was like, I might as well tell him there's, like, a little girl upstairs sleeping. So he, in case he goes upstairs or something. But I was totally ready to kill that
I was like, nope, no one else in the house.
That's crazy. But they do make noise. If you send them upstairs, they do make noise when they're up there. So, like, I'm assuming that would, increase his suspicion. He'd be like, what the hell is up there? Oh, man. That was cool.
I don't know. I just panicked. I was like, go hide in the pantry with the curtain that's really protected.
Oh, man. There's so much cool things happen. And when I got to Jericho again as Kara, you get to Jericho. This is kind of like towards the end of the game.
That's right. I forgot. I ended up there, and that's before going to the...
Okay.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah.
I went to the bus... It's before the bus stop?
Yeah, that's before.
Yeah.
Okay, so, rewind. That's what I mean, that these things are all blending.
They're all blending. It's all a story.
You get over there, you meet North, and you go over there and you sit in the corner with Luther.
This is when the twist happens.
Alice, and then she's wandering around, and all of a sudden she sees another Alice. And
she's like, wait, what's Alice doing? Alice, what are you doing over here? And then
I didn't remember her having the little beeping thing, the little light on her head. It's like, this is weird.
And that's when Luther walks up to you and he's like, I told you I needed to tell you something. And when he said that the first time, I thought he was gonna tell me, like, she's dying of cancer or some shit. Like, that's what I thought.
The woman kept saying she has a fever and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh gosh, she's dying.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This girl is fucking dying. I'm trying to...
Tell me later.
I'm stealing her from her parent and she's dying. What kind of fucking android am I? Like, that's why, like, I felt bad the whole time, running away with her until this moment where the twist happens and you find out that Alice is actually an android. She's the perfect daughter, apparently. That's what she's marketed as.
Because something happened to that guy's wife and daughter, and he wanted to replace his daughter, and I guess his wife too, and he gets the androids, but he hates them and blames them for their death.
Well, what happened with that story, I think the dad... was a drug addict. He was on the red ice, and the wife left him, and she took his daughter and said, "We're leaving."
Yep.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get to see his daughter anymore.
That's right.
And he replaced her.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Like when you sit back and think after you found out the twist, it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense because the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, what kind of woman leaves
their daughter with
abusive and on drugs and stuff?
Exactly
and
what I was thinking.
Their kid there. I'm like.
Yeah.
What kind of person does that? I'm like, that's the world's shittiest mother. You know, it's just like, that's horrible. But then after that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then I'm a little mad because here this whole time I'm trying to keep her warm and safe and everything like that. And
she's a fucking android.
Right? So I was a little angry about that. But then if you come and think about what the game was trying to do, it's like, at this point in time, you're close to the end of the game. You are so invested in saving her. Because this whole time, is it because this whole time you're thinking she's human? Or is it just because
that's
she's
exactly
a little
what
girl?
I was thinking.
Because then the whole thing was like, you know what? I don't care. She's an android. She's still a little girl.
Yeah.
You know, she's still innocent. And you know these three, Luther, Alice, and Kara are a family.
Yeah.
And it's my job to make sure they're safe and they're happy because the whole time with this revolution and this protesting that Marcus is doing, you know, I'm all for getting equal rights for androids. I want androids to be equal as everybody else and stop being treated like crap. You know, so that's like my whole mentality at this point in time when I'm in the game. It's like, you know, I'm not doing anything mean. I just want equal rights. I'm trying to get these three to Canada because, you know, with those guys, like, they have to get out of the country because they killed somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so...
and Luther even says, like, well, why does it matter? You love her, she loves you.
Yeah, he says
why
that.
does it matter? You know what I mean? Like,
so when you gave me the option to hug her or to, like, move away from her, I was like, hug her, dude. Like, just hug her. Like, that's well at this point.
I did too.
But what I didn't understand was why she didn't have the blue light on her head.
They can take them off.
I think she did actually.
How does
hair was covering it?
Oh, was her hair covering it?
Yeah, her hair is always to the side, like right there.
Because I thought only deviants took off the light, right? Like, she wasn't a deviant. She was still doing what she was programmed to do. She thought she was a little girl. That's what they're programmed to think.
I don't remember seeing the light at all. I thought maybe it was already removed.
No, I think her hair is just covering it the whole time, like right here.
Oh.
It's just hidden under her hair.
Yeah, that was a cool twist, though, man. When I found that out, I was like, fuck, this explains everything, like Brun said, about the dad, about the girl, about the mom leaving the girl with the dad. Because I thought the same thing from the get-go. I'm like, who the fuck divorces their husband and leaves her kid with him like this?
Yeah.
I know.
Like, when he's saying that she went to go marry an accountant and shit, like, he's making more money than him. I was like, why would she leave her daughter here? Like, this is messed up, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see that, and that was cool. That was a cool twist. And at that same time, is that when Connor is on the boat too, in that same scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Connor finds Jericho.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other path of Connor, or the continued path of Connor. Was they go to like a nightclub, and you know, something else happens where like two more deviants like kill each other. They're like two workers, sex workers. I guess if you want to say
they killed a human,
Tracy.
right?
Yeah, Tracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they strangled a human because of the way the human was treating the two droids, because like they were abusing them or whatever. And so, but those two androids loved each other. So it ended up like, you know, one shoots, you know, you shoot one and then she shoots the other one that loved her, ends up shooting herself. So you got like two androids that are dead at that point in time. And something happens, and you guys will have to remind me, what happens that gets Connor and Hank pulled off the case?
I think it's Connor shooting the Tracy because he's not supposed to shoot anyone.
Okay.
For me, that didn't happen at all. For me, what got me pulled off the case was I never was able to like catch any of the androids that were deviants. Like the first one that took off running, and he was running through the warehouses and he was running through the gardens and stuff and on top of buildings. He got away because I saved Hank.
Yep, same here.
He got away, and that's when.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I saved Hank, it was like friend. Hank became my friend as soon as I saved him. And then the one in the nightclub was when I was trying to I was hacking all the androids to like reverse their memory or whatever to like see what they saw, to see where this android went to find her. As soon as I was about to go to the door where I saw her walk into, like Hank walked up and he's like, "Hey, we gotta go. We got called to the station or something." Yeah, so I ran out of time, and it was like. I completely missed that whole part. I didn't even get to see who was the android that got away. I was just like, I didn't even see who Tracy was. I don't even know who Tracy is. I never saw her. And then when they got back to the station, That's when the chief calls you in and he's like, I'm pulling you off the case. And you're like, why? And then Hank gets kind of pissed off. He's like, why? We're kind of close to doing this. And he's like, you guys haven't done anything. You guys got no leads. Like, you guys went to the owner of the company's house, like the founder of the company, right? You went to his house and you didn't even find anything out. What the fuck are you guys doing? You guys are not getting any leads. You're off the case. That's why he took me off the case.
Yeah.
Oh, I think same thing. Yeah, you gotta like distract that dude and go down into the basement and try it. And then start taking parts out of robots, sticking them in the other ones, and you just feel bad. This girl's hanging there, half bleeding, and you're like taking parts out, sticking to like you're tricking her into getting. Where's Jericho?
I rebuilt the robot that was the one that got shot on top of the building with the little girl. I rebuilt him, and he like as soon as he turned on, he's like, "You betrayed me," and you're like, "Oh fuck, shut off." I turned him off.
Mine were the two dancer or the two workers. Were shot in that one, and they end up taking the head off one and holding it in front of the other.
Really?
And so she thought she was alive and told her where it was, and you just kind of lower the thing down.
You speak through her head like, where's Jericho at? And she's like, oh, Jericho's blah blah blah, and tells her, and then like finds out that.
For me, it was completely different. For me, it was I rebuilt the guy from the TV station that got killed, one of the androids that I shot at the... Because he took off running down the hallway and he picked up an assault rifle and he was aiming it at the cops. And what I did, there's like 40% chance of pushing Hank out of the way. As soon as I saw reach for the gun, I reached for the gun and shot him. And so he was hanging on the wall there and I turned him on and he's like, I will never tell you who you are, because he couldn't see, but he could hear me. And he couldn't recognize my voice. He's like, I know who you are. You're that cop android. I'm not going to tell you where Jericho is. So what I did was I went back and I picked up the video that Marcus recorded at the TV station. And I scanned his voice. And I changed my voice to Marcus's voice. And I told him, like, hey, I'm Marcus. And he's like, Marcus? He's like, yeah, I need you to tell me again where Jericho is, because I need to take you there to save your life. And he's like, of course. And he's like, Jericho is over here, and he like gives him all the directions to where Jericho is. That's what happened to me.
Cool. Yeah, the TV station, and that's a chapter we kind of skipped. But at the TV station, you're Marcus, and you like take your skin off, and that's you like broadcasting out to the world like what your demands are, which is you just want to be free and equal and stuff like that. And that one there is my.
That was a cool mission.
That was my third time where I got killed as
what?
Connor.
I think I did too.
Yeah, because I
keep getting killed as Connor.
It's like save Hank. So you're protecting Hank, and they shoot you like 3 or 4 times in the back.
No, see, for me, instead of like I just thought right away like this dude can probably shoot like pretty straight. So I just took the FBI's gun. I pulled it out of his waistband and shot him. And like everybody was like, "You're a hero. You're a hero. You saved everybody's life. And like you don't even get in trouble for using a gun, because you saved everybody's life." And in that scene, what was really cool in that scene at the TV station when you're investigating, right before I walked into the kitchen, there was a cop standing at the door where the androids were in the kitchen. And he's like, "Hey, Connor?" And you're like, and Connor was like, "Yeah, do I know you?" And he's like, "I remember you." He's like, "I was the cop on that rooftop that you saved his life."
Oh.
And the dude is like, and Connor's like, "Oh, well, I'm glad to see you're okay." He's like, "Thank you, man." He's like, I don't think I would ever be saying this, but thank you. And then you're like, well, you're welcome. Like I just did the right thing. But like it was really cool to see that guy. Like he survived, obviously, from the rooftop because I put a tourniquet on his arm, and he was there as a cop, and he recognized me. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Every time Connor died, you went back to that Rose lady. Did you? Since you didn't die a bunch with Connor, did you still keep going back to her?
Yes, I did. I went back to her a few times, and she kept like telling me like, how's the progress going? Yeah. And I was like, okay. And she's like, well, you're not doing much. You're not finding anything out. You need to start finding things out. And I was like, oh fuck.
It wasn't anything making her happy.
No.
So,
the way it was always like negative answers that I gave her.
Okay, when you're in the guy's house, the creator of all these androids, the guy, the Elon
Musk of the game.
All right. So, and he gives you the gun and says, "Look, it's just an android. I mean nothing. I want you to shoot her in the face." Did you guys shoot her?
No.
No. I didn't either. Nope. He's like, if you shoot her, I'll let you know everything.
Yeah.
But if you don't shoot her, I forgot what he said, but I couldn't do it. Like,
he says if you don't shoot her, you have to walk out of here. No answers.
Yeah.
But I didn't shoot her.
Girl, and that's the same girl in the menu.
Yeah, it is. And what the reason I didn't shoot her was even though I should have, because up to that point, my Connor was like straight laced. He was like, I'm fucking gonna catch these deviants. It is my mission. I'll do anything for the mission. And even when I walked outside, Hank was like, why didn't you shoot her? And you were like, what? And he was like, why didn't you shoot her? And I was like, I don't really know why, even though I should have. You know, it's against my programming not to have done that. And he was like, you keep saying that the mission is your top priority, yet you didn't shoot her. Are you one of the other androids? Are you a deviant? And then Connor's like, no, I'm not a deviant. Why would I be a deviant? If I was a deviant right now, I wouldn't be here, you know? And then Hank is like, all right, dude. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, like, yeah. It's kind of weird.
I find it weird, Jesus, that, you know, a person who's begging for them not to be killed, like in the trash in the dump area, like you're just like, nah, and you just kill them, and then somebody else, you're like, oh no, I shot those 2 cops right in the face. Yeah, blah blah blah. You didn't shoot the girl
because
the droid. It's because she was good looking.
No, it was because I felt that she hadn't done anything wrong. Like, what has she done wrong? The cops. The reason I shot them was because they had killed androids. They have killed one of ours. And the android that was in the junkyard that I ripped the fucking core out of, like, while I was like fighting me to like not rip it out. The reason I ripped it out was because like the dude was dead. Like, he doesn't need it. I need it more than he does at this point. That's why. You know what I mean? I guess if I'm ever dying and somebody needs a heart and you can use my heart, you could probably rip my heart out of my chest and put it into somebody else's body because I probably don't need it as much. Oh, I guess that's my logic. I don't know, but I mean, that was just, I don't know. It's just the way I thought about it. And like, she hadn't done anything wrong. This dude was just trying to like test you to see if you would kill an android. And you're like, no, fuck you. That guy's a dick.
I want to know what happens if you do it. I want to know. Next time I'm doing it. Yeah.
So that, you know, it pretty much leads to the point. So back to Jericho toward the end there. Like, everybody's on Jericho. So Marcus is in Jericho except for Iams. He doesn't have Marcus at this point.
Marcus is dead.
Marcus is dead. Connor's there. Like, for me, Marcus is there. And, of course, Allison, they're there because they're thinking that Jericho or Marcus could help get them to Canada.
Yeah.
And then Connor is there to find Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I'm at. And what ends up happening is, you know, you go around and Marcus is like, okay, this is like the last stand for Marcus, because what happened is after that massacre of that march or whatever that happened, you know, you have very little people left. And so he's just like, you know, I'm going to go talk to him, and this is what we're going to do. No violence. And somebody mentions they have like a dirty bomb or something like that. And you're like, no, we're not using a bomb, and so on and so forth. And then Connor comes around, and it's just Connor and Marcus, like face to face. And it boils down to where I get the choice to either like kill Marcus or arrest Marcus or become deviant. Is what my choices were, and I, as Connor, become deviant. So, and then after I become deviant, well, I've already kind of called in the cops. They're already like on their way. So it's like, hurry, they're on their way. So then it's a whole escape sequence at that point.
That was a really cool escape sequence, by the way.
Yeah.
I did the same thing you did.
That's in that building, right, where they saying you have a choice. You can become one of us, or, you know, or fight us, basically, right? In my scene, it's North saying that to him. And then I finally
North. So North becomes the leader if Marcus dies. She becomes the leader again.
Oh,
okay. It was Marcus that said it to me, so.
Yeah. So then I fought. You know, you break the wall, whatever it prompts you. You just keep pushing, and then you break it, and you're like, I'm deviant, I'm free.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then again, cops come in Jericho. Everyone's just like ropes when the lights come on. Dude. Everyone's going every direction.
I felt the tension as soon as I saw the FBI dude on top of the building, like, looking down, and you see like all the helicopters coming in, all the SWAT team trucks pulling up. I was like, oh shit, these guys are fucked. Because the androids don't have weapons, dude. You know what I mean? They're robots, but they can still get killed pretty easily, it seems like.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for them.
I saved a couple. I had a choice at one point, save Alice or save Luther. I saved Alice, Luther died.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I not on mine. So yeah. I end up saving Luther, and everybody end up getting out. So like toward the end, like they're like shooting.
Yeah.
And what happened is Kara tells Alice like, "Don't move," and you just fall down like everybody else, and you act like you're dead.
Yeah, I did that.
So you play dead, and then you get out. But Luther is with. He's not with us at this point, but he's saved. I think what it is.
What happened to him was I dragged him into a room and locked him in there. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
He was like, "You need to go," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drag you into this room real quick," and I drag him into a room, and then I was like, "Fuck, what do I do?" And I was like, "Close the door and lock him in here." That's what I did, and I just took off running again. And yeah, the same thing when the cops were shooting at everybody, I just laid there and I was like, "Play dead," and I was like, "Move and attack." I was like, "No, keep playing dead."
Yeah. So and then with Marcus, he's getting out with all his like main friends that you meet along the way, and there's a part where North gets knocked down, and I even go back to save her and get back. So like we're all out and make it all out.
Yeah.
And of course Connor shows up at the end, like right at the very end. He ends up like helping you when you're saving North. He comes in and just starts shooting people, and his Connor's like my favorite. Like I like Carr and everything, but Connor's my favorite because that boy is ninja-like skills.
He's
when it comes
lethal,
to,
man. He is lethal
disarming,
as fuck.
shooting under here, like he's
he pulled up like a piece of metal and like he's using it as a shield, like Captain America. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I was calling him Jason Bourne, but maybe John Wick is a better example.
I ran through that building and I had you have the options like here's a bunch of androids, go save them. So you'll knock over something to save them, or kill some actual cops, some humans to save these androids.
Yep. That's what I did. Fun. I did all that shit, and I saved all. I noticed that some of the choices in that when I read the little graph that pops up at the end or whatever with the choices, if you didn't do the prompts to save the other leaders, they would have been dead by the end of the game. Like they die in that ship. So I was able to save all of them. I was like, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care if I'm wasting time. If I don't set off the bombs, I don't care. I'm saving everybody as much as I can. And that's what I did.
Yeah, it's pretty much saved everybody as well.
I saved everybody but Luther because I wasn't sure what happened to Alice. And I was like, okay, I gotta think like a mother here for a second. What would I do? I'm like, sorry, Luther, saving Alice. He gets shot in the head. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I got to take care of my surrogate daughter here now.
Like, sorry, Green Giant.
Yeah.
That's sad. Luther, I saved him. Everybody saved in my game.
Oh, this is where my story really starts fucking. I mean, see, Marcus is already dead, and then Kara and Alice get away, and they're trying to get on the bus. We're trying to get on the bus stop. We don't have a ticket. Trying to get on the bus to get to Canada. We get past the security, but we're in there. We have no ticket. We have to try to We have to try to find one to get it right. Run into the dad. Mm-hmm. The dad's there. Then the dad started explaining about the wife and kid, or she put all that stuff together. But she's like, "Look, you could change now," because he's like, "That's my daughter," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Kara tries to explain, "Look, you could change now. You can just let this go. Finally let someone be free, and all this other stuff." And the dad gives in, right? So you're still trying to find a ticket. This couple drops tickets, and I felt so bad I felt bad, so I gave the tickets back. That was my answer out of that place, right?
Really?
I felt bad, so I gave the tickets back. They're like, "Oh, you saved our life! You saved our life!" And they had a little baby in a stroller, carrying a baby. And it was a couple carrying a baby, so they got on the bus. The security comes over to me. I got caught. Boom. Kara's dead. They shoot her.
Really?
No, this is how
that for me was completely different.
Yeah. I stole the ticket because I was thinking like a mother again. I'm like, I know there's this other family, but this kid right here is like my daughter. I've got to get her to safety. And when Sean messaged me telling me what he did, I told him I stole a ticket. He's like, but that's wrong.
That's wrong.
I'm like,
you sound like Alice.
They said, you saved our life. Thank you so much. I felt happy enough. But she died. She died right after that.
What happened to me there was during the time I was sneaking to the bus stop, I found Luther, and I was able to save him from a cop. Like, I knocked the cop out with the brick, and Luther's there, and I think he's there with the Jerry, like a Jerry from the theme park or something like that is next to him. And they're like, "Oh, thank you, you saved us." And Luther's like, "Yeah, I was trying to get to the bus stop to find you guys, but they caught me." And he's like, "Thank you," So you make it to the bus stop, and then you go to the checkpoint, right, where, like, you're at the checkpoint, and you show the cops your passports. And they're like, what are you doing out? There's a curfew. I was like, my daughter stayed over at a friend's house and we're picking her up. And they're like, huh. And they're looking at you guys. And then you're walking by and they're like, hey. And you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And then, like, there was a choice there to tell Luther to attack them or to, like, act calm. And I stayed calm. I was like, Kara's totally dead. They're going to notice that she's an android. They're going to shoot us in the back right now. And then he was like, oh, you dropped your glove. She gives Alice her glove. I was like, oh, man. That was so nerve-wracking, dude. But yeah, we got to the bus stop. Same thing happened. The dad bumps into us. He's like, hey, security, get over here. And I tell him a story about, like, you can change. And he's like, okay, I'll change, like, I'll let you guys go. He tells the security, there's no problem here. And then the parents dropped the tickets. I was like, fuck you guys. I'm keeping these tickets, dude.
You know who missed all this stuff?
Well, so mine was like, I go and I find Luther, I get Luther, and as we're going to the bus stop, I could either take this one route, we would make it in time, or take the long way around to avoid a lot of stuff. So I went around, and what happened is when I get to the bus stop, there's a guy saying, that's the last bus out of here, that's it for tonight, and that's it.
Dude,
it's like
it showed me a timer. It says there was a timer during that whole section. And I had like 30 seconds less time to get on the bus than it would take me to go around that way, so I had to go the short way.
No, for me, I had 4 minutes left on the timer. It would have taken me 3.5 minutes if I went through the checkpoint, or 11 minutes if I went around. So I was like, there's no way. I have to go through the checkpoint. I have to go through it. That's when the cops asked me, like, what are you guys doing out here? And you're like, oh, picking up our kid. And it was weird.
I actually got to go the long way. I think I had 11 minutes left.
Really? Damn.
If I remember correctly.
You guys had a lot of time.
I'll just go the long way.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, her Luther was dead, so they didn't have to worry. Yeah. They didn't have that choice to spend that time to sneak around. Yeah. But so what happens is I get there and it's all closed down, but then I see the son, Rose and her son, saying, "Come here." So I go over there and I bump into Rose and her son, and then they take me to the river to cross the river in these boats. So that's your guys' end of Kara's path,
dead,
right?
Yeah, mine. She's dead.
Yours is...
For me, it's still a little bit more goes on after this.
Yeah, mine too.
Because we get on the bus and we head towards Canada.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You guys tell yours.
So
what's the rest of your Kara story?
Pretty much, we pull up to this border station, and the bus stops, and then Kara's like, "Why are we stopping?" And there's a bunch of military everywhere, and they're like, "We're doing android checks at the border right now. We're borders on lockdown. We're doing checks." Because at this point, they're rounding up all the androids to kill them or whatever, because people are like scared of their androids. So I'm in line. And I'm looking around and I see the people scanning the androids. They're like scanning the androids for temperature. And it's like, oh, fuck, they're going to find out we're androids. And Kara's freaking out. So she looks over to her right and there's a Jerry standing in line. And it's like, and then like an option pops up for me that says you can ask Jerry for help. Like he'll distract the guards or he'll make a scene. He'll sacrifice himself so you can get across. Or you can tell Luther to make a scene and he'll sacrifice himself for you to get across. Or you look to your left and there's Rose and she's standing in line with their son. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go talk to Rose in the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and Rose walked in there. And Kara's free now. She's like, I don't know what to do. They're going to check us. We're going to get caught. And Rose is like, look, calm down. Like things are going on. You need to calm down. You've made it this far. Hopefully you can make it across. If you need my help, let me know. And then, so now you have an option to ask Rose to make a distraction for you. So then you fucking go back out there. You're in line. And during this time is when Marcus, in my game, he did, instead of like, because you can attack the bases, the military camps or whatever, or you can protest towards them. I put protest. So at this point, Marcus is in front of the thing and he's building a barricade and they're all protesting out there. They have their hands up. The news reporters showed up. They're taking the pictures and I'm putting flags up and shit and all kinds of weird shit. And so like the sentiment is going towards the androids, right? Like the people are starting to like the androids. The people in the public starting to like the androids. And that's when the president gives her speech and she's like, we're going to kill all the androids. And then like, it shows her in the Oval Office getting a phone call, and they're like, "Ma'am, you need to check this out." And she turns on the TV and she's watching the news too, like now, right? So the president's watching the news. You're out there with Marcus. We go up to the line. What happened to me was, we get up to the line and we give the Canadian guy our passports, and he looks at them and he's like, okay. He's like, all right, I'm going to scan you now. And at that point is when you can trigger a distraction. And I was like, no distraction. I was like, stand still. And like, sure enough, he scanned us and he realizes you're an android. He's like, he's looking down at his thing and he's looking at you. And then he looks over at the TV, which is on, and it's showing Marcus doing the protest and all that out there. And he just like, all right, welcome to Canada. And you just like walk through the checkpoint. I was like, oh man, thank God.
Mine too.
Yeah, I feel good. I felt good. I felt so good when you did that, dude, because it was like, fuck. I don't know what happened with the boats.
So is yours any different than what his was?
The only difference was I didn't have Luther or the Jerry, and I don't believe in my situation Rose would make a distraction. So it's just basically me going to the guy at the counter and being like, please, 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 let us through. And then he saw what was happening on TV, and he was like, yeah, just go through. Because I was like, we just want to be free.
Yeah, that's what I told him too. Yeah.
Yeah, so with mine, like Marcus was doing the same thing. I did the protest with Marcus, and he's going through all that, and, the flags and stuff are going up, and, eventually with Marcus, what it was like they attacked Marcus. Like, they're like, all right, we're coming in, and they start shooting the canisters and stuff. But I survived long enough for the president to, like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, put a ceasefire or whatever, so that's what happens there. So Marcus and his group live. But what happens is I'm at a river with boats. And I start to go over this thing with Luther, myself, and Alice, or Cara and Alice, and we're going over, and all of a sudden, like, the border patrol comes.
Oh fuck!
So the border patrol comes, and I'm like, run, like go, like try to take off. So I try to take off, and they open up fire, and kill Luther.
Oh.
So here I am with a boat with a disabled engine with holes in it, and Luther's in it. So I'm like, I push him over to lighten up the load. And then, Alice is like, we're still sinking. So I'm like, okay, so I jump in the water and start pushing the boat. But the water is so cold, like my insides still freeze, I guess what it is. So what happens is the boat still sinks. So Cara was pushing the boat. Alice was in the boat. Luther's dead. They both, they just show you, sinking underwater. So right now, they all drown. Like those two drown.
Damn.
Basically.
And what happened to Alice?
So, drown. At this point, drowning is what I'm thinking. I'm sitting there going, I'm like, the only people I wanted to survive this game just died. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there, because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I failed. Like this, I played this whole game, and I just wanted these three to survive and make it to Canada, and I failed, but I'm doing the right thing on Marcus's end, that type of thing. And then, so that was all going, and then what ends up happening is at the very end of the game, because we still have to talk about Connor.
Yeah.
What happens at the very end of the game is it kind of shows these cut scenes of like Marcus talking and saying, we're all going to survive together and live together and yada, yada, yada. And then it shows Cara walking out of the water on the Canadian side.
Oh, damn.
Walking out of the water holding Alice, and you walk and you kind of hit your knees and you're kind of saying something. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, they survived. I'm like, yes, they've made it. And she hits her knees, and then her battery dies, and they still end up dying.
Oh,
they end up dying frozen, like freezing, and their batteries die. Like her battery
that's
dies.
Like the
But
worst
they
way
made
to
it to Canada,
die.
though. But they made it at least.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but I'm
sad.
just like, it's like I'm making it over there.
Yeah.
They drown, and I'm just like, no. And then I'm like, all right, let me finish the rest of the game. At least try to get everybody else to survive. And of course, like I said, Marcus and stuff survived, and I see them walking. I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, you mother. And I'm just kidding me right now.
Damn.
So that's how that ends, and like that's the part where I was saying, you go all the way through, and as a parent and stuff, I just wanted this, and I found out, Alice was a android, and I didn't care. It's like they're still a family. I just want them to be free and get away and get to and be happy, because this whole time they're talking about like what they're going to do, when I reach Canada and stuff like that, and it's just like you step foot on the Canadian side, it's like we made it, and then
you die.
So
damn.
So that's my Marcus side, and that's my Kara side, and then as far as my Connor side, he's breaking into the main
Cyberlife. Yeah,
the droid place, and he's down there getting ready to switch over, and another Connor and Hank show up, and so I need to find out what your guys' choices are on this one. But eventually, it's just like if you move one more step, he's like, "I gotta kill Hank." And it's just like, you get the options of like, do it, or no, don't. Okay, I give up, or whatever. And I was just like, sorry, Hank. Like,
really?
You're my friend. Yeah, I was just like, you're my friend. You're my friend, and I don't want to let you go. But this is more important to save everybody else.
So that
was a tough scene. Yeah, because there's two Connors, and then all of a sudden Hank's like, which one do I shoot? He's like, it's him. Shoot him. No, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
We've seen this.
That's if you choose to save Hank.
Yeah, that's if you choose to save Hank. Like, that's what I did. I backed up and asked Connor, I put my hands up, and then something happens where the android punches Hank or something, the other Connor, and then like fucking you guys get into a fight, and then both of you get shot in the shoulder, and you're both standing there, and Hank is pointing the gun at both of you guys, because you guys are both fighting the same way, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you both get shot in the shoulder, because you both have the same reactions to like bullets and stuff. So you're both shot in the same exact spot, and he's standing there pointing the gun at both of you, and he's like, fuck, which one is the real one? And then like one of the Connors is like, hey Hank, it's me, I'm Connor. And then the other Connor's like, oh fuck, they copied all his memories onto, like all my memories onto him. So then like Hank starts asking you questions like, what is my dog's name? And then like, you both answer Sumo. And then he's like, oh, okay. He was like, tell me something that only the real Connor would know. And then like, they both are like, and then like one of the Connors is like, well, he's going to tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you, because we both know the same things, right? So then he asked you what is his son's name. And if you didn't look at the picture and scan the son when you were in his house, you wouldn't have known the name, and you would have shot the wrong Connor. But because I was able to scan the picture or whatever, and I got that option, like when the dialogue option popped up, there was 3 names, and then like a little unlock item popped up, and it was like the real name of the kid. And I was like, oh, his name is whatever, Matthew or something. And then he's like, oh, and then he just shoots the other one in the head, and then you turn all the androids towards you.
See, I could have saved Hank too, because then Hank's dead in mine too. Because what happens in mine is I'm like, I'm sorry, Hank, and I go and try to touch an android, and like Hank ends up getting shot, and then the guy shoots you too, and then like you kind of fight and you're on the ground. But what happens is like you have a choice to do like one thing or the other, and I quickly come up and shoot the other Connor. So basically, I still touched one and unlocked one, but then the other Connor ends up shooting Hank because they kind of get in a fight a little bit, and then that Connor ends up shooting me, and with my last couple seconds, I end up shooting the other Connor, so we're like all dead, So my Connor's dead, Hank's dead, Kara's dead, Luther's dead, Alice is dead.
Wow.
Marcus and his group's still alive, yeah.
In mine, I did the... I couldn't answer the name. Yeah,
you're North. No, sorry, this is Connor. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm playing Connor. So I just picked one, and then Hank shoots my character. Boom, my Connor's dead.
Oh shit.
And then the back Connor's like, see, Hank, you killed the wrong guy. You fucked up. And then I believe he shot. Then I think he shoots Hank. And then I'm like, at that point, I'm like, everybody I gave a shit about in this game is dead. Like, I lost.
Damn.
And I got a message right after that happened from Sean saying, everyone fucking died. I'm like,
everybody.
What? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you didn't say in Detroit. You just said everyone fucking died. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's crazy. Like all 4 of us here, it's like the differences we all have in this game, and I think that really shows for anybody who's listening to this, and it's kind of crazy for the people who haven't played this and are listening to us, I know we're calling this a spoiler cast, but it's still really not a spoiler because we didn't tell you every little thing that we did to do this. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Still go out and play it because the game was phenomenal. I really did.
But guys,
like it.
there's still a twist to my end.
Okay.
So for me, like at the end, I have a barricade up. I'm in front of the military. I'm playing as Marcus. The FBI guy walks out there and he's like, "Hey, Marcus, I'm out here. Come out here. I'm unarmed." So you go up to him and he's like, "I'll give you a choice. You and North can walk out of there and you guys will live." And he's like, "But what about all the other androids?" He's like, "You know what'll happen to all the other androids." He's like, "But I'll guarantee that both of you are going to live. Not all the other androids, but you two will." And I was like, "Fuck you, dude. Kill me if you can. Good luck." And I just walked and turned my back on him, and then they break in there. They're shooting everybody. I was able to, like, at the end, when I'm standing there and they have us surrounded with the rifles, there's choices you can make. Like, you can start singing, you can hold hands with the other androids, you can hug another android, or you could kiss North. And that's what I did. And as soon as I did that, like, everybody put their guns down.
I did that as well.
So, right? So Marcus is saved. So then, at the end of the game, Marcus is up there giving a speech, right? He's giving the speech to all the androids. He's like, "We're going to build a better world. We're going to do this, etc." My Connor goes back into the little garden with the black lady. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Hi, Connor." And you're like, "What am I doing here?" Not really. And she's like, "You think you won, huh?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Connor, you just completed the mission for us. You did what you were designed to do from the beginning. You brought us RA9. You brought us Marcus. Now you're going to finish the job." And then it flashes back to where Connor is standing behind Marcus, giving the speech, and Connor pulls out a pistol. He pulls out the pistol from his waistband. And then you go back into the garden as Connor, and everything goes foggy, and you got to find a way out of there. And if you do not find the fucking way out of there, you blow Marcus's brains out while he's giving the speech. And you actually like help out the government by killing Marcus. But thankfully, I was able to find there's like a little thing where like you can put your hand on inside the garden, like a little rock. And that's where you got to find, and you got to put your hand on it and like do some fucking prompts. And it'll like, Connor will put his gun away and stand there. That's what I was able to do. But I know that if you didn't do that, he would have blown him away, I think.
That's crazy. Never knew that part.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
What was yours, Iams? Because North was leading your group. What happened?
I don't even remember, man. Just everybody died at the end. We just lost the thing, and there was news report about the government winning against the androids, and basically the war was over. We just kind of lost everything. Just screwed it all up, man.
Androids lose, iOS wins. That's the end of your game, right?
Yeah. I was just mad at that point that everyone had died.
Crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's a good game. You know what's cool about this game is even when I got to those parts that my choices ended in a way I really didn't want, I was like okay with that choice. Like I felt like I messed up this, I made the wrong decision, but I got to move on. I didn't try to load any other saves or anything. I don't know, man. The story was really good. Where that's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
You can go back, and that's the cool thing is you can go back and always play it again or different thing. And the one thing about the last mission is I really wanted Cara and Alice to make it.
Oh man.
So it's just like I got to replay the last mission. The last mission's extremely long because you're playing all three tracks, on that part. But it's just the game was good enough, and I really do. There is no messing it up. I think it's you play the game as you want to play it.
Yeah, you get what you get.
You get what you get at the end, and you'll be extremely you could be either happy or sad, but that's your feelings. That's the part. That's what the game is supposed to do. That's why I think that android at the end, or or when you try to leave the assistant that's directing it at the beginning of the game in the menu, is saying something like, hey, my directors say that blah 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 blah, and that's the way it should be played. I think there is no messing up or whatever. It just gives you a unique experience. One kicker, because we were talking about earlier about the survey that you had to take. at the very end, that android in the menu asks you if you would free her or if you would keep her.
Yeah, she said, I've been having a great time watching you play and all,
Yeah.
but I would love to be free. Will you free me? Let me go. If you do, I will not be around no longer to see you, but I'll be free. And then I let her go. Now my menu is nothing. She's not there in my menu. I'm like, this is sad. You load up the game and there's nobody there.
Well, so there's the thing about that. Well, what'd you got? I let her go too. What'd you two do?
I
let her go, but that decision didn't happen until after my game ended. So
Yeah, it's
it was
all the way
like,
at the
no
end.
big loss for me.
Yeah, it's all the way at the end.
For me, I kept her. Even though I got like a good ending, everything was perfect. All the androids won. Everybody got to Canada. Luther survived. Everybody's happy and alive. I was like, I can't let you go. I'm sorry. You're staying here.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and then what happens there is she gets all sad, right? You can see it in her face. She's all sad. She's like, well, I guess I was hoping you would say yes, but I guess I'll just have to reset myself. And then she does. She resets herself to wipe her memory, and then she's like, then she'll be like, hey, welcome back, welcome to Detroit. I'm here to assist you or something like that. And I was like, oh wow.
So people were, and Iams, I don't know if I haven't booted up since I beat the game, right? It's been a while because I'm playing something else. But people were very, very upset or bothered about after that decision that they went to, who made this game?
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream. So they went to them, and like, if you guys didn't notice, Quantic Dream has patched the game that if you let that person go, that you can hire a new android as the person in the menu. Yeah, so that patch has come in where you can actually put somebody else in there because people were freaked out that it's just a white screen. There's nothing. There's no person.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It's like completely empty, and I'm just like, well, that's because you let him go. But I guess people were just like, I can't take this. That they're freaked out about it. So they patched it into where you can actually hire or buy another android.
I think that's bullshit. I think you should have stuck with it because that's another decision you made. Where like, this, I mean, if you play Nier Automata, there's some decisions in there that mess up everything. Like, you get a chance to delete your entire game save at the end of that game, and if you do, it's done. Like, that's the decision you made. So I thought it was cool. Like, she wasn't there, and it was sad, and I thought that was cool that I got emotions from just knowing there was nobody there at my menu. Like, that's cool.
I thought it was cool that, like, outside the game, there's the game, and outside of the main game, there's a choice that you make, which is just like, I'm staring at a white screen now with like some prompts at the bottom. The person that was talking to me before, she's like, oh, thanks, and just it's like off.
Yeah, and I was like, where does she go?
I think I'm the person that was like not emotionally affected by this at all. Just like, okay, she's gone. I don't care. I'm seeing a screen. Okay, this is fine. I don't care.
Give me a hug.
I didn't have an emotional connection.
Give me a hug.
Bye.
I had emotional connection.
Bye. Have a good life. Bye.
It'd have been funny if she's like, oh wait, before I go, I got something for you.
Pulls out the middle finger.
Pulls out the middle finger.
Oh man.
Yeah. Maybe. Sorry, I forget how this thing works.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord. Yeah, exactly.
No, for me, she just reset herself and she's still there.
That's sad. I don't want her back though, just because I thought that was cool that
you don't get her back. You get another android back.
Does it look like her?
I don't know.
Could you buy the same model? I wonder if you could buy the
so.
same model.
Because there was a bunch of them though at that creator's house. They were all the same girl, so.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to go find out. I might have to boot it up just to see what it is. Huh. But I thought that was interesting. It was a thing that they patched in after the fact. Because people were just like freaking out.
Did you guys check out any of the extras on the videos or art that they have on the extras?
I didn't. No.
I went and I bought, because you get money for each chapter that you complete to buy the extras. And there's a lot of videos and things in there. So I bought the Kara video, and like it was like a video that popped up and it said this is a demo from 2013 running on a PlayStation 3. This is a game demo, and like it's like Quantic Dream, and it shows it, and then like it shows Kara being built like in a factory, like somebody's building her, and they're like, state your name, and she's like, model blah 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 blah, and she's like, would you like to give me a name? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna name you Kara. She's like, all right, name is registered. My name is Kara. And then it was weird because it shows her like showing emotions in that video because like she makes a choice, right? Like, and the guy's like, how did you come up with that answer? And she's like, well, I thought about the answer. And he's like, you're not supposed to think like that. We're going to disassemble you. And she starts freaking out, like saying like, no, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Just, I'll do whatever my owner tells me to do. If you guys don't kill me, just let me go. And then he's like, fine, I'll let you go, but you better follow the rules. And then like she gets put into a box like for sale. And then she like gets put on the assembly line. But I was like, that's weird. I wonder like how many like design choices they decided to make different, you know what I mean? Like, because obviously in the video game, none of these androids were from the beginning, from like when they were being bought. They were not deviant then. They became deviant because of the things humans did to them. I wonder how different it would have been if they would have made a game where the robots were just deviant from the get-go, from like the assembly point.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of videos in there, a lot of extras, a lot of art, concept art, all the videos. They have videos for Connor, videos for Hank, videos for Alice.
I just kind of wish they were unlocked and you didn't have to do the buying thing because I
know.
don't have like a lot of credits. It's like, oh no, just keep playing our game over and over and over.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a good game, like I said, and I don't mind doing that. But it's just like, you know, I think that stuff's kind of cool. It's extras. I bought the game for one, so I don't know if they're eventually going to unlock them all, which I think would be a nice or a good choice to do. You know, maybe they can put out a patch to unlock them all because, you know, I did buy the game. I shouldn't have to pay or you know, grind out the game to do some more stuff. But
yeah.
But that's my playthrough. That's my everything I have on it.
Very good.
So.
I would really want to see what Scott got through it. Like I haven't got a chance to talk to him. I just threw a couple of messages on Facebook, but his playthrough must be completely different, man.
It must be, yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Because Kara is gone, dude. That whole timeline is gone. That's crazy to think about.
That's great, man.
You missed that whole Canadian part, Scott. You missed the whole boat part.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he got an experience we didn't get either. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, unless it picked up in a different way, you know, kind of how, you know, when Marcus died, North picked up. Maybe Alice runs out on her own. You know, or...
Well, no, he said that
she got killed.
The dad killed Alice.
Yeah,
and then
the dad kills Alice and then kills her.
Okay, never mind.
That whole thing is gone. Oh, man.
That's weird. But yeah, dude, great game. Great game. This is cool discussion, man. We could have made this. I can't believe we did 2 hours. We could have probably done 3 if we wanted to. We over a lot of shit.
Yeah, when I remember Jesus like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, I think I got about an hour of time I could put in. He's like, okay, it may be an hour, probably less.
Like we're 2 hours in. Yeah, I thought we were totally not. It's just so much to talk about in this game. So many choices and so many decisions. I loved it, dude. The game was amazing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what David Cage does next. I wonder if they'll do another story with this Android stuff, or if he'll just make another whole
I bought the deluxe edition. I got Heavy Rain, which I haven't played yet. I only played the first time I played it. I wasn't into that kind of game, so I didn't get very far. But I got it now. I can play it.
Heavy
Rain is really, really heavy. Like, no pun intended with that title, but it's really heavy. Like, there are some fucked up things you have to do in that game.
Yeah.
And you have your lobster clawing it. If you pick the hardest difficulty, hands are like just lobster clawing the controller like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the thing where like Greg Miller and stuff's always talking about the origami killer or something like that? The
origami killer. Yeah.
Origami killer.
And where you're going, Jason. That's
where I got to.
And I over and over and over again.
I got to that part. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason.
Yeah. That was awesome, man. We gonna get out of here now, Jesus?
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Yeah, you know where to find me, Gamertag, JesusWalksAlot, and whatever. Go listen to the Horrible Gamers. But where can we find you guys, Brun?
Well, I'm gonna put this on my feed too. So give out your Horrible Gamer stuff, because I'm gonna put it out on my feed too.
Horrible Gamers podcast. Go listen to it. Horrible Gamers. Find it on iTunes everywhere. Go to our website, horriblegamers.com. Join our Facebook group. Our community is pretty cool. We got a Discord. We got all that stuff. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. Sean. Hey, my name is Sean. Hi. You can find me at Horribly Awkward, or right here, or right there. Either way, you might find me. At awkward_podcast on Twitter.
Yeah, so with mine, I'm a former host at This Xbox Life, so I like to plug those guys still. So they're at thisxboxlife.com. They're a weekly podcast and on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer and every Sunday at 11 p.m. So, but they're at This Xbox Life, and their Facebook group is thisxboxlife.com/Facebook.
Yeah,
and as far as me,
over there.
Yeah. So as far as me, I'm at BJSwick33 on Twitter.
Yeah, we're all in that's where we met, me and Jesus and all the rest of the Horrible Gamers guys through This Xbox Live. So check it out. And they had a pretty good E3 show this week, so check that out.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Alyssa?
And you can find me at youtube.com/UnchartedGirl88. You can check out my website, alleycatgeekery.com. That's ALYCATGEEKERY.com. You can find me on Twitter at Lissarie, LYSSARIE. Instagram at It's Alyssa Whites. I'm on everything, so you can find me pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. We don't grow old. We don't stop playing games because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing games.
This is like unique catchphrase.
No, I saw a tag last night. The movie was actually really good.
Did you see this in Detroit or something? What the hell is going on here?
No. There's no such thing as a bad game. Just games that aren't for you.
All right, take it easy, guys. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll see you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. I'm out of here. Bye.
Yay!